Like I'd written it as Duradum,
Duradin, okay.
with an M at the end actually, but yeah, it's not important. If it's a hassle to pronounce, we can always just call him Dam or Dury or something like that. It sounds like a dwarvish nickname on Dury to me.
Yeah, Dury. Duradand works. I was just going off memory. And okay, so you had done that, and then you were in a tavern, and then the sheriff came up in the evening and said the mayor had an even better paying job for adventurers like yourself, and to come to him in the morning. Rise, you'd arrived in the town, unexpectedly bumped into these guys, watched them, kept yourself hidden. Then you'd met your contact in the tavern, and he gave you a snippet of information, but you had to go and check with the council, you said?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be able to decide on my own. Such a big piece of information, such a big piece of magical artifact.
Yeah, because he's basically
I think
you...
I would need the permission of the council.
Yeah, because he's basically asked you to go on a quest for him, and then you'd be handing over to someone who has the appearance of a demon, blank red pupils, sort of scaly skin, and you weren't expecting that either. But you're a realm walker, astronite, warden, and you're currently working kind of on the behalf of the Mages Guild, yeah?
Yeah, I think it was kind of a Mages Guild sent a request for investigation, and they said, that somebody's corrupt inside of the Mages Guild and that's secretly working for Malekith.
Yeah, and they want you as an outsider to come in and do the investigation and root it out.
Yeah, I mean, Rise is their investigator also.
Sure.
The assassin.
Yeah, and then this demon guy, he's pointed you towards a kind of rogue sorcerer, which is the object of what you're looking for, he says, but he says he has even more information that's important relating to the matter, but he wants this thing in exchange for it, for whatever reason.
Did he also mention that if I say yes and accept to give that demon mage a tablet, that he would provide more information, and when I deliver the tablet, he will give all information? Was it like that? Or
so he just gave you an idea of what information he had. If you accept it, he's going to give you details of where this rogue Mages Guild guy is that you're kind of after, or the source of the corruption, and then he has even like more deeper important information relating to that he'll give you after you deliver the tablet, because this is he's hinting that there's something bigger afoot than just like a rogue mage.
Yeah, I was thinking about Rise character, and I highly doubt that. I think he feels like something is wrong here, because if that, he can't trust demon, and if that demon really wants to do good, he would just give the information. He wouldn't ask for tablet, and Rise obviously knows a little bit about tablets, some basic information like they exist.
Yeah,
but he wouldn't so easily agree to do that on behalf of the demon.
Oh no, totally. You weren't expecting to bump into a demon. Why would the demon be doing this kind of thing anyway? It doesn't make any sense. So, and on top of that, you've witnessed the Church of Yaren, who apparently can heal somebody who's been touched by a demon, and as the rest of us know already, that really shouldn't be possible. So something is not right there as well. And you've also overheard the conversation that the rest of the crew had when they were being offered the job by the mayor. So you know that this team of people, and they seem to obviously have some magical abilities within themselves, are going to be taking upon more work for the mayor here. So they're going to just rest up and then go to the mayor in the morning as requested. But does Rise want to go and seek counsel or contact anyone during the night? Will he has the opportunity?
Yes, definitely. After the evening, he will seek the council.
And is this a Mages Guild council, or is this a Warden's council?
this is Warden's Council.
What's cool about this is I wrote up a bunch of names for these guys a long time ago for a completely different campaign.
I suppose that Mages Guild and Warden's Guild are two separate entities, and I suppose also they maybe even don't like each other so much.
Oh yeah, so I mean I don't know how much you want to like change what I've had an idea of, but Mages Guild obviously is working in this realm. They are mages working for like the Empire and for magical beings in general on this plane of existence, whereas the Wardens are sort of, they wander between the different astral planes, maintaining order, snipping out rogue agents that might disrupt things or try to sway the balance too much in one way or another. And yeah, they work wholly separately. I mean, they're operating at another level because they're traveling between different planes of existence and taking it upon themselves to patrol that and police that.
Yes, that's how I imagine it as well.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going to use your ability to kind of pass between realms, I assume, to go to where the council is. I would think they probably have their own sort of small pocket realm dimension, because we discussed those before, so that they wholly control it and it's safeguarded against beings from other planes crossing into it.
Yeah, I imagine that the Wardens have their signature weapon or some kind of artifact that's soulbound to them, and they can signal to the rest of them that they seek counsel or they seek aid, or they can communicate. It's like with beacons, with lighthouse beacons through the realms.
Yeah, they can telegraph that they're coming in and summoning others to attend, let's say. So let's imagine it's like the upper portion of a tower. It's made of this kind of swirling, slightly glowing blue stone, and it's just floating in the midst of this stormy crimson and violet sort of lightning cloud storm all around it. And this tower is just kind of like floating there in the center, and when you cross into this plane, you just appear in the middle or in the central room of this tower. And there is like a large golden circle in the middle with all these ornate carvings around it and different sigils, and there's like place markers for each of the members of the council, and then there's like outer rings outside of that with more places, and those are normally for all of the other wardens that could possibly be here, but they're in decline, so a lot of these placements, these spots remain empty because they've never been refilled, because you just aren't able to replenish your ranks these days like you used to.
Yeah.
So you send out the signal when you arrive. There also is Arzorak, who is this he looks as if he's made of stone and magma, and he looks like in the kind of shape of a dwarf, and he is hailing from the dwarven realm in the astral realms of their deities. There's Valaric, and he is of the Nether. He's all misty and swirly and almost kind of ghostly looking. He doesn't have a very solid looking form. There's Leoric of the Fae, and he's a kind of elvish looking planewalker. And then Umsvela, who is also of the Fae. She is almost like a female version of Leoric, and they have the typical kind of elvish and fae realm sort of appearance to them. Lots of kind of greenery and vines and the power of nature kind of like all floating around them. And these are the four that respond to your call when you seek their counsel.
I bow to them and shout out, "Brothers, welcome and thank you for attending the circle."
What do you have to report to us, Rise?
It's a touchy subject. I think you won't like it. And the deeper this investigation goes, the darker it gets.
Then speak. What have you uncovered for us?
Well, the more research I do on Mage's Guild, they are living tales. They have trouble with their quests. They made a lot of mess in the astral realm, with mission gone wrong. There's also some mysterious, unknown mages appearing across the material realm. And of course now, I was investigating the corruption inside of the circle. I haven't revealed anything of importance yet, but I've met a demon mage, who appears to know somebody who is amassing an army and spreading Malekith's corruption. Could be even working for him, or is a part of some other grandiose plan.
Valaric, the misty one of the Nether, kind of whispers in the voice that he has. And what is it about this Mage's Guild that is so important to us here when we have greater matters at hand? Malekith's disruption is far more important than the comings and goings of some magicians.
Well, if you look at it like that, you are looking at a narrow picture. If we have corruption in the Mage's Guild, that could do a lot more damage than we could imagine. Mages wield great power, and the world is in turmoil. If they flip over to the dark side, we may have a bigger problem.
One of the Fae, Leoric, he looks across the golden circle to one of the placements for the elder of the council, and this placement is like scorched, unlike any of the others. You know that this is one of your own that has been banished, exiled, eliminated, supposedly, because he was also voicing about perhaps the right course of action was to actually allow Malekith to do what he's doing and use that to realign the realms. And then Leoric, I would warn caution against any action you take, Rise. You must be careful that if demons are making offers, that you're not being led into taking the wrong path.
I get that, I understand that. Brothers, I've also seen some kind of a symbol I've never seen before on the palm of the hand of the demon mage. And Rise walks over to some kind of a pond on the side of the room, and he draws on the water as closely as he can, remembering the symbol on the hand. Does anybody of you know about this symbol?
The dwarven figure Azurak steps over and lets out a kind of yell of anger, and slams his molten hand into the pond as the shape takes form, begins to glow, and the water like singes and turns to steam below the heat of his palm. You must not call upon the Dark One in this place, for it will signal its existence to him. Foolish boy, have you learned nothing in your time with us?
What is the symbol then?
He looks over to Leoric, and Leoric points across to the scorched mark on the golden circle. It is the calling of Volquar, he who has been exiled. If this symbol has been shown to you, warded to you, then it means he is already aware of your presence in the material realm. This demon that you conferred with, it must be one of his agents.
It is what I feared. It is deeper than we thought.
Umzella
Now,
reaches back to her hair and unlocks the long flowing red hair from her headdress. Rise, you must return to the material realm, and you must dispatch this agent and follow the leads that you've found. You must annihilate, exterminate Volkor if he's indeed there in that material realm. His presence there can be no good to us or our cause.
there is one problem. The demon mage, it asks magical tablet hidden somewhere in the Dwarven Mountains in return for information.
The four of them nod. Well, the neither one might be nodding. It's hard to tell when it's just a cloud. Tell this demon you agree to his plan, but do not turn over the tablet by any means. Gain what information you can from him, dispatch of him, and then you must bring the tablet to us or to the rebellious forces on the material realm so that they may make use of it against Malekith himself.
As soon as I get the information, we have permission to take out Demon Mage.
Yes, exterminate him with extreme prejudice.
Thank you. Thank you for your assistance, brothers. I'll be on my way.
And they make the sign of the blessing upon you, and then each of them does their little weapon item motion that allows them to like travel between planes, and they exit one by one.
And right before he leaves, he looks one more time at the pond where the symbol was cast.
The steam from what remains of the water rises up, and you can see at the bottom of the bowl is just the symbol has been like scorched into it.
He just makes an angry face and he leaves back to the tavern.
And then we'll come to morning, and everyone, you're going to get up for your meeting.
All right, I'll go down to the entrance of the tavern, see if I can find the rest of them.
Yes, I mean, you've got a big giant floating shark, so you're pretty obvious wherever you're going to be. Do you know anything of the Lord Mayor of Broggenberg?
I know he's the Lord of Brackenberg.
Yeah, so you don't really know any extra information about him. How long have you been in Broggenberg, Salazar?
I'd say he probably got here a week before he was hired by the guard captain.
Okay, so long enough to hear some rumours going around, but not enough to really get into the midst of what's going on here.
Duran.
Duradum. I think he's just kind of wandering, so he doesn't really know where it is now. And they mentioned something about the dwarves. I need to find my people.
Just yeah, pretty much like covered head to toe and cloak. I don't. That's fine with me. I'm a ninja dude. And then the armor's underneath the cloak. One is not to show my skin because it's skilled.
So, anything you want to do or say before you go?
I guess we shouldn't keep the Lord Mayor waiting.
Yeah, I was just probably just like hedge right there.
Yeah, I guess we'll just head over there.
We invite the dwarf along.
I'm doing all the rolling and all that kind of stuff in roll 20, Alan, so if you're going to do that, you need it in roll 20.
Which is on channel.
Sorry, Bird, when you go. You were saying something.
Oh no, I was just going to say that Alan's typed something, but yeah. So I guess it depends. Like what he would do would depend on whether or not Ricardo was going along, because I don't think he was particularly, or not if he was going along, but it depends on what Ricardo does now. Because I think if Ricardo wasn't to be found, then Duradin would just accompany his colleagues, because he's like, oh well, they know where he is.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming Ricardo's going along with it because that's what they agreed last night they were going to do. Although Ricardo was only kind of half listening because he was too busy working these charms. Yeah, like Alan says, close. So yeah, you and Ricardo follow Salazar outside with his shark, and Dracan, you're just going along with him as well. You approach the Lord Mayor's house, which is this kind of central building, not right in the centre, but central of the city. It's like a large townhouse. It's probably got 3 floors to it, thatched roofed, kind of wattle exterior. And you don't see the sheriff there, but there's definitely a guard outside the front door when you approach. And when you make yourselves known, he just introduces you and takes you into the sort of meeting hall. And it's this kind of large, sometimes it'd be filled with tables and used as banquets and feasting, but like days to like today, it's just there for people to come with their complaints and such. And at the moment, there's no one else there. You just see the Lord Mayor and the sheriff, who are like sat at a long table on top of this raised stage area with some stone steps leading up to it, and there's a couple of guards hanging around in the room as well. And when they see you approaching, the sheriff Lanson, he stands up and like welcomes you all, and gets some chairs brought in for you to sit. And he looks at you, Duradam, for a second, wondering if he should be getting you a seat.
I think if the seats are regular person size, Duradin would just sit on the floor.
Which is just like a rock plonking itself on the ground.
Yes.
So the sheriff announces, this is Lord Mayor Larrick von Bildevin.
Duradin just lets out a hearty laugh and goes no sir, have you never seen a dwarf?
I'm guessing he must have been cursed to be like this somehow.
Aye, many of us dwarves are.
It's like, then he just looks a little uncomfortable, confused, Quite, yes.
Do you think it might be the forces of the evil Pope? I'll just
Want my
like
pay up
get
front.
the other two, see what they think.
Want my pay up front. Want my pay up front. I'm just gonna be staring down myself.
Well, obviously we cannot pay the entire amount up front through the car deliveries, but I'd be willing to give you some gold and horses ahead of time to show our goodwill. Shall we say we'll give you 300 gold now and the rest when you return? Is that an agreement? Yeah.
Yeah.
He nods, and the sheriff reaches into his waistband and pulls out a pouch, takes some coins out of it, and throws the rest onto the table in front of you. The sheriff here will see that you men are given horses if you do not have some available already, so you may make the journey in haste. Good fortune be with you, and I hope you're a safe return.
Yes, of course, everything will be fine. We'll go out and slay the worshippers of evil gods.
So, Drakan, you have your enhanced sense for hearing, yes? And I'm assuming that gives you advantage on hearing rolls.
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay, so could you make a roll of 2d6 plus your clever, and you'll actually have 3d6 using the two highest. 6, 5's 11, so that's a pass anyway. Yeah, while you are kind of getting up to leave, you can hear like the slight sounds of a scuffle, a voice that sounds like it's been muffled in some way, and also the sound of shackles or chains from one of the rooms off of the central chamber here. Rise, what are you doing while these guys are having this meeting?
Well, I suppose I would be keeping an eye on them, but also investigating the Church of Yaren in this town.
So you kind of follow them to see where they go, and when you see they're going into the mayor's hall, you leave them there and you go and cut off to the church.
Yes, I mean finding them is a no problem because the Ricardo, he's like a beacon.
Yes, exactly. Sorry, Drac, what were you saying?
Just go towards the room.
Okay, do you want to sneak towards the room so no one notices you, or are you just going to boldly stride over?
I'm gonna sneak.
Okay, give me a roll with your sneaky.
I don't know if this would actually like assist him. It's not intentional anyway, but I think Duradin would ask, like just before he leaves, how was it they came to know of this in the south, and had they sent a scout to find out what was going on?
But yeah, you can roll an extra dice there, Draken. Okay, that didn't really look. Well, have you got any modifier or no?
He's +2.
So 6s and 8. Okay, yeah, you're going to get over to the door while Duradin is asking that question. The door's locked, so you're not able to go through it, but there is a kind of like a slot or keyhole or something you can look through to see what's on the other side. And when you stick your eye up to it and look through, you can see that there is a dwarf in chains with a gag over his mouth and 2 guards kind of like holding him down in the passageway. The dwarf looks, you only look very briefly, man, but he looks kind of roughed up. It doesn't look like he's in good condition. Durham, you ask how they heard this, and say, well, one of our scouts was sent out because we hadn't heard or received trade from Mulvin for a few days, He didn't approach the town directly, but he said that it seemed eerily quiet and empty.
Two of them just like scratches his chin. It's a big like keeking sound. He's like, I see.
Like two bricks just grinding together.
Yes.
You're just rubbing your chin and spikes fall off.
Sets fire to the flame.
Yeah, so the sheriff kind of like gets up and ushers Durdam away from the desk with the papers on it. Like, my dear dwarf, I'm sure you're wanting to make your preparations. Come, and I will arrange transport for you.
Ooh, we'll best get going.
Yeah, and as he's kind of escorting you and Salazar to the door, he's like, he looks around for Drakan, and then he sees you kind of lingering off to the
Yeah,
side.
I was waiting while you were doing that, but you said I could see into the room, right?
Into the passageway, yeah, through like a keyhole or something.
So I could saddle walk in there without even unlocking the door. They talking or anything by chance, or did they just standing there stoically? Can I try to do a spell? Try to cast a spell. Near me.
Sorry, which one?
Mirror me. Someone makes a copy of me.
Okay.
I that use roll 2d6 and
Okay, so it's 2d6, and then however much mana you're spending is the modifier.
okay.
I
Assuming 1 mana. No, the 1 mana. I assume it costs a mana. Okay, so the mirror me will be at the door, like where I was when I saddle walked in, try to look through the crack, and I'm just gonna hide in the shadows on the ceiling above these two guys. Okay, and they'll just follow along.
Yeah, so let's go see what foul manner of beast you've prepared for us.
Yes, well, normally I just prefer horses, but I'm assuming your larger friend here would require a cart or a carriage of some sort.
Oh, do you have flying carriages here?
No, out here in the Osterlands, on the eastern borders, unfortunately, do we not have enough trade for a flying port. He takes you outside, and he's walking around to the stables, and that's where he's going to sort this out. So Rise, you're going around to the Church of Yaren. And there's not a queue there just now. It's open, you can walk inside. There's no queue of people looking to get healed or anything like that just now. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm gonna sneak up and try to look through the windows inside, or see if I can sense some kind of a unusual aura that shouldn't be here.
Okay, so even though you're sneaking, I'm going to say if you want to roll a careful, because you're being careful in studying. I don't know what that was. It's supposed to be.
Sorry, what's the command for rolling?
I don't know about the command. If you go to the widget and advanced roll, you can just select 2d6 and then add the modifier to it.
I'll have to type in because I'm on the phone.
Hang on.
I think the command is just what I've put in fantasy. Fantasy RPG chan.
Yeah, and you want to do like a +2 at the end. 7, 9, same thing anyway. Yeah, so you creep along, you can see that the priest and some of his acolytes are there in their robes. They're changing out the water for the pool in the centre. I mean, they're doing exactly what you'd expect them to be doing as Priest of Yaren. They're just kind of like cleaning the place up, prepping it for the day ahead. You know, quietly like laughing and joking to each other as they go about their chores. There's nothing unusual or supernatural going on here. One of them will kind of notice you sort of like lingering around and approach you. Ah, my friend, are you here for healing today? Or just to pray for service?
No, I'm just looking around.
Of course. Are you a member of the church yourself?
No.
Oh, are you curious about the church and the word of Yaren? We'd be more than happy to sit you down and read you some of the scriptures.
Well, I know Church of Yaren is open to everybody, so if you can just let me in, it would be nice of you.
Of course, my friend. If you need any help at all, don't be shy to ask. And you can see he has one of those little wooden talismans with the Yaren sign on carved into the front of it, and he's wearing that on top of his robes.
It's the same talisman Drakan.
Yes.
Hey, humble servant of Yaren.
Yes, my
One of yours. Can I take a look?
Oh, we have plenty to hand out. Please, take mine. And he takes it off his head and offers it to you.
Does it feel unusual in my hands?
It definitely has the scent of demonic energy about it.
I give him back the talisman and I walk inside of the church.
Okay. Drakan, you're in the shadows behind these guys. Once the sheriff escorts everyone out, there's a clink clink as someone opens up the door to the passageway, and the guard that was inside the hall with the Lord Mayor motions for them to bring the dwarf into the main hall, and they drag him out by the hands. He's still like trying to speak with the gag covering his mouth.
Just stay hidden and listen in on whatever investigation he's going to do.
The Lord Mayor makes a signal. One of the men closes the front door of the chamber of the room, and they take the gag out of his mouth. Like, now, dwarf, you're going to tell me exactly what it is you know, and what it is you've been told to tell others. And the dwarf coughs. My name is Tharmith Manrud. I'm here from Carrick Lac to seek aid. We're being besieged by one of the Dark Lord's servants. Require aid from the Voster lands, and I've been here to request it immediately. I don't know why I'm being shackled. I'm just here seeking aid. I need to speak to whoever's in charge in the Vosterland army. The Lord Mayor laughs. Kind of subdued laughter. He's not like manic or anything. You foolish dwarf, you've stumbled into the wrong town to bring it here. There will be no aid for you or your comrades in the north. And he waves to the guards. He's like, take him away and lock him up. We'll speak to him more later. And they put like a gag on him, and they put a sack over his head, and they drag him off out of the building.
How far were they taking the door? Staying in the shadows?
Yeah, you're easily able to tail them across town, and they take him to one of they take him to the police station where the sheriff is, the sheriff's quarters, which is a stone building, and they take him inside. The sheriff's quarters obviously has several guards sort of patrolling and guarding him. It also serves as the execution place and the prison. Salazar and Durodan, you are taken to these stables. You're shown horses, but he's deciding that it's probably better if you go in a carriage. Just because of the weight of Durodan. So they'll give you a carriage drawn by 4 horses. They'll give you a driver to take you there as quickly as possible. And then he turns around to Drakan's mirror image. It keeps asking him questions, but the mirror image can't answer. So he's like, is there something wrong with your friend here?
He knows I don't like him. I already made that clear.
I don't know, but these horses seem very small. They could barely feed one shark.
And any horses that you lose in this trip will be deducted from your pay.
I'm sure we can find more.
Yes, I imagine Ricardo's like stroking the horse's face and just like whispering to it sweetly, and then like gets up on it bareback and starts just like cooing to it, and the thing's just like neighing as if it's like agreeing with him. Oh, it doesn't matter if it's female or not, man. But yeah,
To be outdone, Salazar will jump on a horse also. Just jump straight on it.
the sheriff and the stable hands are just kind of like, please don't agitate the horses any more than you have already. We'll set up the carriage for you to take you as soon as you're willing.
I like to think Duradin sees like Drakan's just kind of standing around and like gives him a slap on the back. He goes like, you've not ridden a horse either. Ha ha ha.
And your hand goes right through him.
Yeah.
Which I believe dispels it.
Oh really?
Say what dispels it, so I'll say sure, that is what dispels it. It says that it would take enemies might attack it instead of me, kind of deal.
Right.
I mean, it's not intended to be an attack.
Well, I mean, he is like physically
Yeah.
striking it.
I don't think it's meant to take any kind of physical darts.
Yeah, so your hand goes through him and then it just kind of like puffs of smoke and disappears.
And Duradin was just like looking around now, like, did I knock him somewhere?
Oh shit, I killed him.
Do me and Ricardo notice?
His first thought is,
Or-
did I do that too?
Ricardo does not notice, he's oblivious for one thing. Salazar, you probably notice just before the sheriff does, because he's too busy trying to get you guys off the horses.
I'll distract him. I'm gonna jump on the horse and stand on its back, and then just do a flip off the horse.
Roll a flashy for me. Yes, he's like, sir, please, you can't be doing this. These are very expensive animals. And the horse kind of like, it doesn't enjoy the attention either, and it kind of buckles and kicks you off. Do you want to take a pain?
All right.
And then, I don't want to say pandemonium breaks out, but there's definitely a kerfuffle drawing people's attention away. And by the time he does notice that Drakan is no longer there, he's just assuming he's slinked off somewhere to do something. And Duradin's kind of like standing in the spot, like lifting up blankets and stuff to see if Drakan's underneath any of them or something.
Just like checking the hay bales.
Yeah, he's like, he must be here somewhere.
Didn't hit him that hard.
So Rags, once you've left the church, what do you want to do?
Well, now that I'm inside of the church, I feel any kind of a magical presence inside or spell.
Roll with careful again for me. Or clever, your choice. Yes, so it does have the energy of Yaren about it. This has definitely been a genuine Yaren church. But there is a taint, an edge of corruption. It's as if the golden aura of the place just has a kind of distorted, glitchy fizzle around the edges of it. Something's not quite right about it. And it's definitely, it has that, again, that kind of flavour of the demonic plane about it.
Any particular source that it's coming from? The basement or some room?
I don't think you can centre it from here. You just know that the site has been corrupted.
I'm gonna look at the servant of Yaren and ask him, hey, who is in charge here?
Oh, that would be the priest, Marmouth.
Where are his chambers?
Well, his chamber's inside, but the priest is right here, and he points into the main chamber, and you can see him filling up the pool.
Rise just starts walking towards his chambers, personal chambers.
I mean, the acolyte is going to see you doing that, and he'll be like, hey, you're not supposed to, and then he stops talking, and he instead walks off to tell the priest himself. You walk up to the chambers. It's on the opposite side of the main room. The wall and everything is stonework, but the door itself is wooden. It has like a latch across it with a primitive door lock.
Is it open?
No, it's locked.
Well, I'm gonna jump out of my physical body into astral form and go through the walls.
Does your physical body just stand where it is motionless, or does it like go unconscious, or what?
Oh yes, right. I forgot about that. So I'm gonna sit inside of the church in a praying motion and then jump outside of the body.
Okay, so you just go to one of the pews at the side and get down as if you're going to pray, and then leave your body.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so you... Is this a quality or a spell or what?
Yeah, it's a spell. Astral projection.
Okay, do you want to roll for it then? Just say, Drakan, if you're using like mana for a roll, you obviously don't have that mana until you've recharged.
I had 2 mana, so now I'm down to 1.
Yeah. Eight, you adding mana to that? No.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so you take a consequence for it. You can take a pain or a stress. You can take -1 to your next one, or you can expose yourself to danger.
I'm gonna take -1. Let's say that the presence of demonic influence is turning away my focus. While I'm really fast now in this form, I'm gonna take a moment to fly through the walls and investigate all of the rooms, and if there are some maybe hidden chambers, basements, something like
Sure.
that.
Do you want to do that with quickly for me? Because you're trying to do it before anyone gets to your body or starts messing with it.
Yeah, sure. It's gonna be quick.
Okay, so you get XP. You roll around the place and you don't find like a source of warding or a rift or anything like that would lead you to think that that is like the source of what's going on here or something that warrants further investigation. You feel somebody touch your physical body on the shoulder, and immediately you're kind of like yanked back into your physical form. You look up, and the priest and the acolyte is standing over you, and the priest is like, "My son, it's been drawn to my attention that you were trying to get a hold of me." And as you look up into his eyes, as your body's just kind of, as your astral form is just entering your body, you just catch a glimpse of him and his aura is, at the very core of it, definitely has demonic energy.
Yes, you are the one I'm looking for.
And then we'll go back to Drakan. So you've seen them take this guy into the sheriff's building. What do you want to do then?
Leave and go shopping.
What, sorry? I keep turning you up, but I can't hear you.
I'm gonna leave and go shopping. Yeah, I'm gonna buy some.
I guess since no one's told us about anything they've been doing, we'll just go towards the town we were told about. Yeah, so I guess I'll just go to the... I'll turn over and look at Duridan and see if he has anything he needs to do.
Oh, nothing particular, but where did the quiet one go? You said it's kind of given up because they couldn't find him in the stable.
He must have gone off to make his own preparations. And then he looks over at Ricardo with a look of disdain, and just says, "What about you, priest?"
Sure. So you, Ricardo, you go like, have you got like money on you? If you want to go buy another sword and a healing potion, that's fine. But imagine Drakan's kind of snatched up the golden purse since he's going to go shopping.
Well, I snatched my share of it. I hope they took their share. I left it on the table.
Okay, so you didn't just snatch up the whole purse. You like took the time to take out your cut.
Yeah, and I still have my gold from before. Oh wait, the one we just got, right?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
How much was it?
300 between you.
So that'd be. Well, is Phil isn't part of the party yet?
That's true. So it'd be 75 each.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how much gold is a weight?
Okay, so Ricardo, you're going to spend yours on the sword, yeah. A longsword is only 9 gold. If I'm on the right sheet. Or is it a rapier? A rapier. Which is also 9. Oh, the Julian rapier is 12, okay.
How much gold can you carry before it starts weighing you down?
I don't know, like 100 coins is probably 1 weight, something like that.
Okay, I don't have too much then.
Yeah, I mean, you can carry a lot of coins, especially if it's in a purse on your belt. It's not really weighing you down an awful lot.
Alright, I have a mount anyway. I can just put it on my shark.
Yeah, if your shark's got saddlebags. So Drakan, where you want from the market? What are you looking for?
I was gonna buy some poison. Maybe a healing potion or something. I was looking through the list right now. I figured everyone else would do stuff, give me time.
Yeah, sure. You just let me know what you're getting once you've marked it off.
Okay, will do.
I'm gonna buy some antitoxins
Sure.
and some and 2 potions.
What poisons work on this one though? Like,
Sorry.
how would poisons work? Like, do you just buy like a thing of poison, or is it?
Do those
Poison.
poisons listed have an effect listed with them?
So from the dungeon, dungeon world, they have like full plus con. Doesn't really apply here.
Yeah, that kind of stuff's not gonna. They're just gonna have like the narrative effect. So if it's one that causes injury, it'll cause injury, make them sick, put them to sleep, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you just like want one that has a desired effect, you can just like buy one that has a desired effect. I think they're all the same kind of price.
They have prices.
That while I'm not sure if they'll work on Duradum or not, I'll just get a healing potion as well while we're here.
I mean, I think we already talked about your healing not being the same.
I think it was like a kind of magic repair thing, but I'll take one anyway.
Sure, because I mean, if he thinks he's a dwarf, maybe you just think it's gonna work
why
anyway.
wouldn't it?
So I'm gonna say that's I'm gonna look over it. I'm buying the potion. And just like say, yeah, that's not the one you need, and then I'll just hand him a repair kit. You're too big to use a regular size potion.
And Duradum just like tilts his head and goes like, "Aye, but I can't find any armor that fits."
Oh, don't worry. This is special. It's a masonry set or something. It's the best kind of healing potion.
And Duradum doesn't appear to get it, but he decides he'll take it anyway. Surely this guy has some thought behind it.
Why aren't you a rock person? Can't you just prepare yourself?
Duradum laughs and goes, well, "Some do think dwarves sting from the ground, aye."
I mean, since you three are at the market and Duradam really stands out amongst all these ordinary folk going about their business, Drakan, you'd definitely be able to like spot where they are.
I get it. Finish my something.
So Rise, after you've came back to your body and you've seen this, the priest, what do you want to do?
I'll just step away from him and get out of the church. And I'm gonna find the darkest alley. And I'm gonna wait for Demon Mage to show up because she found me in the first place. Like, she knows exactly where I am at every moment, so I'm gonna wait for her there.
Sure. So you'd step into this kind of dark alley. This very small, very narrow. It's a dead end because the wall, the outer wall of the city, is alongside the back of the houses here. It stinks. People have been like throwing stuff out of the window of the nearby building into this gap between them. There's rats in the corner, scurrying around. So you enter into it and you like turn around to look at the entrance to watch for anyone coming in. And you just feel like a cold breeze behind you as you do so. And you turn around and you can see the hooded figure standing directly behind you. So if you made your decision then, Realm Walker.
I did. I accept your offer.
She like pulls her hood back a little bit, and you can see the full dark purplish scaliness of the skin where the hair should be, the blank red eyeballs, and the serrated sharp teeth between these twisted dried out lips. She goes, "Excellent, shall we shake on it?" And she extends one very normal looking hand.
No, we are not gonna shake hands. Like, I trust in your word. You're gonna have to trust in my word.
Very well then, but a deal must be sealed. And she bites the palm of her hand and spits the blood on the ground. And looks as if she's inviting you to do the same.
In that moment, Rise becomes very nervous. Subconsciously, he's going with his hand to the hilt of the sword, but then he stops. He's looking at the demon, and he just shakes his head. No.
You're not very trusting, are you, Realm Walker? Very well, if that's how it must be. And she like flexes her hand a couple of times, and you can see the wound is healed already. I trust you will be able to find me here once you return. The one you seek lies halfway up the river to the north, at a small village beside a lake. There he is made roost. The rift he had entered through is now closed, but the beings he brought with him protect him there.
How many of them?
I'm sure you can handle them all. Such a skilled warrior.
Why do you even want to give me such information?
There's no consequence to me what becomes of this realm. Corruption or not, good or bad, makes little difference to me. This is not where I call home.
Very well. And I'm smart enough to not even ask. Why do you need tablet for?
So you're smart enough not to ask.
Yes. What are the chances? You will tell me.
That just gives you like a wicked grin. So why does anyone want power? In the quest for more, of course.
Well, of course, because they feel weak enough.
Believe me when I tell you, Realm Walker, the other information I have to give you upon its return is far more valuable to you at this time.
You know that if we didn't have a use of each other, I would challenge you right now here. You know that.
I'm aware. But you and I both know that your objectives determine your path otherwise.
Rise takes a step forward to her. Attention grows. He's keeping the eye contact. Very well. Demon, we have made our agreements. For now, we can consider each other allies.
She nods, and the way she does so reminds you of a serpent, and the way it kind of like slithers through the grass. Cough, cough.
Did she disappear yet?
Sure, after you're satisfied that the conversation's done, you kind of blink and she's not there.
So, Dark, can you repeat one more time? He is lied, that apparent rogue sorcerer who come through some kind of rift in a small village named...
She didn't give you a name, but she told you it is by a lake halfway along the river to the north.
And, well, by that description, would that be the same place where the mayor sent the party?
No, he is sending them to a town to the south.
Okay.
And of course, at this moment in time, you don't know that they've been told to go to that town south. You still need to confront them and find out that information.
Yes.
Yes, so when that's concluded, you're able to easily see Ricardo's beacon, which would lead you back to the marketplace where everyone is just now. I'm going to grab a drink just quick. I'll be back in a moment.
I'll AFK quick as well.
Yeah, I'll be right back too.
So that's me back.
I am back.
Yeah, I'm back too. So, would I be able to, like, so if I level up and take another positive quality, I would get another negative quality, right?
At any
Yeah,
point
go
where
on.
you have 2 positive qualities, you'll need a negative, yeah.
All right, so
If you get 4 positive qualities, you'll need 2 negative.
okay.
Although if you're leveling up after one session, I really don't think it should be giving you XP for fails then.
Well, no, since because it was last session, but this time we haven't really done much combat or anything yet.
Okay, so if everyone's here, you guys are at the market, and I'm guessing Rise is going towards you to find you at the market. Drakan still not shared his information of what he's seen, and Rise hasn't introduced himself yet to the rest of you. So what would you like to do at this point?
If everybody's ready, we could just head out. Dude, I was gonna talk to Ricardo, I guess, about the door. I'm not gonna tell it to him right now. If I tell it to him right now, he doesn't want to go to the prison, so save that information for later.
Yeah, I mean, Alan, can you really not get in a mic to do conversations? Because I really hate diving between the text and chatting.
And if you want to hear me like this and coughing and spluttering all the time, then I can go on a mic.
I mean, if your character's going to have
Okay.
conversations with people, I'd rather it was like actually a conversation.
Yeah, it's just really, really problematic.
Oh, I ain't gonna have the conversation with him right now. Like I said, if I tell him, he'll want to go to the prison. So, in my head at least, I'll wait till after we accomplish this.
Okay, so Essence of Ether Dark you bought, what's that?
It's like a smoke poison, at least according to the handout you have in here.
I can't even find the section I've got in potions there. If you would just describe it to me.
Yeah, white smoke is in a glass vial. When unleashed, it depending on what you roll, it causes damage or it knocks him unconscious.
Sure, yeah, sounds fine. There's a vapor, yeah.
Yeah, they're supposed to roll, but I don't know if you just want me to roll or how that works.
I mean, it depends what you're doing when you throw it, and you know, if you're doing it sneakily or quickly or whatever, that just depends on the approach. And then some elven bread and a health potion, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, sure. I mean, if you want to listen to Alan, that's fine. It's just, I really hate the slowing down and having to go back and forth between the text and the talking, especially if we're going to get to like combat and stuff. But I mean, if you want to just listen in, that's perfectly fine. I mean, we're going to assume Ricardo's there and he's doing stuff. So we're just going to hand wave the details of what it is. So if Duradan, if you need Ricardo to kind of be there to enable you to do something, you could just say that he's there enabled for you to do it or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's just like because he was the one who knew about the doors.
Yeah, yeah.
But he'll accompany his party just because they're connected to him. You know?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I mean, for the rest of you, you're gathering your supplies. When you're ready, you head out to the front of the town, and the carriages are waiting for you. There's a driver. It's got 4 horses. It's enough room to sit you all on it quite comfortably. But I just want to know when Rise is planning to kind of like announce his presence, or if he's going to wait until there's trouble.
Well, I'm thinking, you know, and I would ask for anybody's advice, since you already know now what would be Rise's mission. I'm trying to find the reason. Why would he approach them?
I mean, I'm assuming because you're wanting to go north and you're wanting help to do so because you don't know what you're going to encounter.
So that was my thing. I was going to suggest, like, you don't want to go alone, and you already know the group of adventurers, so like it would just make sense to try and ask for help.
Yeah, and you know they got some magical ability between them. And you might even be interested in Drakan, who has a sort of slight demonic tinge about him. You might want to like keep an eye on that or something as well, in case he's got something to do with it.
It's like I help you out, you help me out.
Yes.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you be too worried about revealing that in town? Probably follow us a little bit out of town first before revealing yourself.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He would just tag along and wait for the trouble or camp.
Okay, so you're going to just tail them for now and probably pop out if they need help or something.
Yes, and I don't really need to be close because Ricardo's beacon is shining so bright. I don't even have to be close.
Yeah, you can just kind of like do... Well, I mean, if Drakan would do like shadow jumps to keep up, you can just kind of do realm walks to keep up.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take the carriage ride. The driver quickly picks up the pace and he's going like full gallop, where he's going as fast as he can as he takes us for the better part of the afternoon in the morning to get you to where Mulvin is. As you're travelling, and you've been aware of this for a while, but the countryside is definitely been affected in some way recently. The plants kind of look off, there's less animals around, the sky's always overcast, it's raining more often. Everything just kind of seems sort of darker and, you know, more unnatural. And as you approach this town, Mulvin, he draws the horses up outside of the town. And you can see it's getting dark now, the sun's starting to set, and there's crows flying over the town. And it's eerily silent. There's no signs of life. You'd expect people to be bustling back and forth, lights to be getting lit, lamps and fires going up at this time when it's getting dark, and there's none of that. There's just the creaking of a dead body hanging from the gallows outside town where you've drawn up, and he brings his horses down to a slow trot and eventually to a stop. And then he bangs on the side of the carriage to indicate that you've arrived.
Well, I guess because it takes up so much room, Duradin might have been like in the back, so he'll step out first and have a look around.
Yep, you step out first. Do you want to give me a careful roll if you're just studying the place?
And you can say, what's it in Discord? And I failed.
Yeah, you guys said you look around, it's dark, but you're like, it's pretty empty here. Ricardo like hops out after you.
complete sense. You're just oblivious to any danger, anyways.
I'll jump out and look at all the birds in the sky, but don't put how there's no people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna raise my arm and try to whistle to call one of the birds to me. Basically, just yelling, "Hey, you!" in
It's a
the monster tongue.
And okay, so it is monster tongue. I guess clever, because it's a clever skill. It's like a knowledge you have.
The divide here, let me get my mana back, or am I still doing it?
Yeah, you like whistle out and call to the birds, and the birds scatter and go in different directions and leave the area. So now there's not even crows and birds flying around. Sorry, I didn't hear what you said, Drag. I don't know if you need. Sorry.
I don't know, the mic's as close to my mouth as I can get it without chewing on it, so I don't really know what's going on.
Sometimes it comes through and it's quite clear, and then other times it's just kind of mumbled.
Maybe because I'm mumbling when I talk. I was asking if that would be considered rest so I can get my mana back, or am I still down one?
Oh, you'll be down one still until you've like rested. So you're all in the kind of road leading into town now, and the driver whips the horses to circle them around. He says, "I'll back up. I'm like half a mile or so up the road and wait for you there."
I don't trust this. I don't trust him.
If he's not left yet, do them recall any clues where to start?
He just yells, "Good luck!" as he like whips the horses and trots off.
Any particularly tall buildings or like a tall tree in town?
Yeah, there's a couple of taller buildings sticking out above the regular thatched roofs of the homes. You can guess one of them is like a town hall. There's one that's definitely a Church of Yarrow. And a couple of other ones.
Just climb to the top of one so I can look around the whole town.
So out of the nearest buildings, you want to get to one of the higher ones, or do you want to go into the... Because most of the higher buildings will be in the centre of town.
On the outskirts, whichever ones.
Okay, so just the highest one you can get to on the outskirts here.
So if we were in like the kind of centre of town, or the outskirts, sorry.
Outskirts.
Which one was it?
Outskirts.
Right, is there like an inn or a tavern nearby?
Yeah, there'll be a building that looks like it's in a tavern. That's on the outskirts. That's probably going to be one of the taller ones as well, because it'll have an extra floor. So Draken starts to like climb up that, which I think you're just able to do. You climb up the outside of it, and you get to the top of the building and look around. Is there anything particularly you're looking for, Draken?
We were here just like I lost contact with people, right? They thought someone had been here, so I guess I'm looking for any kind of like signs of a struggle or like recent fires or anything.
Sure. You want to roll clever for me?
It's not like they have on the fire. We kind of have it on the
Yeah, there's not a lot, but there is some signs of like struggle or disruption. There's no the obvious signs of violence. There's no bodies or anything like that. Nothing's been burnt. Nothing looks broken. You can see like a cart that's been tipped over on its side, and the melons and stuff in it have been spilled out. And as you're climbing up the building itself, when you're sticking your head through one of the windows, there's just like a splash of blood across one of the walls inside.
There's no bodies.
There's no bodies. There's not a sign of a lot of struggle or fighting. Whatever happened here happened suddenly.
Okay.
Jordan, so
What about-
you wanted the inn building, which he's climbed now, so what would you like to do?
Wait, so he's climbing then?
Yeah, he's climbed up on the roof.
From the outside, like a spider.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's already checking it out, then I don't know if we should check somewhere else.
You're standing
Let's
there. Sorry, you're standing on the outside of the inn. A gust of wind blows, and the shutters for the tavern door just kind of like flap open and closed repeatedly.
seeing that I'll Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Seeing that I'll jump back and draw my bow.
Okay. Draw your bow and sort of paranoid fright. It's just a gust of wind, some leaves just kind of blow across the road in front of you. Rise, I imagine you're a bit back from them, perhaps on the outskirts of a copse of trees or something.
Yes, and I don't know what are they doing here, and I don't know what's their agenda here. So I'm observing from the distance this seemingly ghost town.
So the tavern looks empty through the shutters, right?
Yes.
Well, if there's two places people gather, it's the tavern and the church. So I think I'll go off and look for one of them.
Okay, so
And
you're,
what do with them is that aloud, but so the rest can hear.
okay, so you announce loud enough that everyone can hear, including the guy on the roof, that you're walking to the church. So then you start heading towards the centre of town. Dracona and Salazar, what do you want to do?
Salazar will he'll jump up on a roof and follow Durden.
Okay, why is he jumping on the roof?
Because he has a bow.
Okay, are you on your shark? Would you not just ride that?
Oh, yeah, I guess I can just ride I'll just call my shark and jump on it.
Okay, so you're...
Follow him from above.
Yeah, so you're like rooftop level on your shark, following him. Okay, what will you drag?
Just want to keep trying to like. Oh, I know there's blood in the inside of the tavern, so I'm just gonna investigate the inside of it.
Okay, so you crawl back down the side into the window, into this room on the upper floor of the tavern. You can see that there's a bed that's been made. You see the splash of blood against one wall. The door leading, in further inside the tavern is open. There's some belongings neatly piled up in this room. And there looks like a bowl of water has been spilled on the floor, and there's a washcloth of some sort lying in the puddle.
I'm just gonna stand still and listen if I can do that with my hand.
Okay, roll your careful for me.
3 dice or just 2?
3 dice. So
6, 7,
9.
9 with 4 is +1.
So 10, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear the wind, you hear the creaking of doors and shutters. Just for a second, you hear a creak, a slow, calculated one, as if it's a footstep from out in the hallway. Just like a single footstep, but a heavy one.
I'll close the door quietly and try to like come by the entrance.
Yeah, you don't need to roll. You sneak over to the door and stick your head out. The hallway is obviously cloaked in darkness and shadow. There's no lights or campfire or fireplace lit. The sun's going down, the moon's coming up. It's very dark in here, but you know the shadows, and there's nobody in this hallway with you.
Now, there's no clues in the bedroom, so I need to just keep searching the tavern.
I keep
Find
searching
this
tavern
creek.
on your own if you want, yeah.
I was looking for clues to see what happened.
Yeah, you're just going room to room, just trying to study and try to figure out what's going on here. Duradam, you walk through the centre of town. You're oblivious, so everything seems fine to you. You get to the centre of town, it's very dark now, quiet, and you approach the Church of Yaren. The doors are wide open. There is like a walking stick or a wooden crutch that's just been left on the outside steps.
Well, it's eerie, but we're not going to find out what's going on without going in, so I'll go in.
Sure. So you're walking through the doors and you can hear the buzzing of flies, where there's usually just like the healing pool where they administer healing and blessings. That pool is just a huge stack of dismembered bodies, heads, arms, limbs, just piled on top of each other, and just, you know, hundreds of flies buzzing all over them.
Two of them just like covers his mouth if he has one to speak of, and then like calls out, like, I think we found them.
Can you roll defense for me?
I don't think I have anything particular. Oh, and I keep trying to roll fucking Discord.
So, you don't have any armor, correct?
I'm armored against blades because of my construct, but
Okay.
I'll just roll 2d6 anyway.
You trained in a fighting technique? You agile or athletic?
I'm only trained if I'm unarmed. Don't know.
But you're
I've got a
armed.
shield if I'm unarmed because I've got boxer. It's because while he thinks he's a dwarf, you know, he's relying on his axe and his shield kind of thing. I've got a shield and I'm armored against blades, but that's it.
Okay, can you take a pain and a stress for me?
Sure.
Because you're going to turn around, you know, to leave in disgust and tell Salazar what you've seen. As you turn around, something lashes out from the darkness around you and slices right into your body.
Right, so I'll take a minor kick, or like bruised double essentially, and I'll just freeze up as well.
Yes, you feel the sting of what you would register as pain, I guess. And you kind of like freeze up for a second, like, what was that? Salazar, so you're like outside above the entrance, I guess, watching where he went in.
Right. I was following along Duradan.
Yeah.
Just from a-
So, I mean, you don't really see anything. You see him turn around as if he's coming out. There's kind of glow around him from the magic parts of him faintly, and you think you see like the shadows move around him for just a second, but then he stops moving. Drakan, you've gone through this place up and down, and you know, clearly people were here, and they seem to have just like something's happened or they've just disappeared, sort of like mid-action. You can see evidence of things like being dropped, knocked over, but not the signs of a prolonged scuffle or fight or combat. At one point, you again hear like the creaking of a floorboard, but when you turn around, there are just shadows. Rise, you're outside the town. You see the two of them head off to the centre of town, and Drakan's in the tavern by himself. So what do you want to do?
I will stick closer to Drakan because three of them are together, well, somewhat close to each other, and Drakan is alone. So I'm gonna be somewhere outside of the tavern.
Are you like approaching the tavern to just kind of slowly get up there, sneak in, stay out of his sight, but keep an eye on him?
Well, if I didn't hear any struggle, fighting, or stuff breaking, dropping, I'm not revealing myself.
Okay, can you roll a sneaky for me? You detect movement at the corner of your eye and you halt before you move your position, and you just see the shadows around the doorway of the tavern shift form slightly. Just for a moment it kind of looks like the outline of a large figure, but then it goes back into the shadow and disappears.
Yeah. In that moment I realize bad things gonna happen here, because things that walk through the shadows are, well, a problem.
Take offense to that.
Rise is gonna hide himself in a bush or some enclosed area and quickly enter the astral form.
Okay, so you're going into your astral body. Okay.
Yeah, astral projection. I'm gonna cast a spell with spending all of my mana.
Okay. Which you do just fine. Yes, you get yourself into a sort of safe position, down your knees or something, propped up. You go into you leave your body into an astral form. You still know where the shadows are and the light and stuff when you're in the astral form, but you can see like life forms more clearly. And there is a dark aura in the shadows, moving from one to another and then disappearing as it gets to the entrance of the tavern. Drakan, do you want to roll with advantage for clever?
Well, what's the advantage for clever? 6 and 6 is 12.
Yes, I mean, you're a master of the shadows. You know what this is like. And this creak that you've been hearing, you know, you have your suspicions about what it might be. And then that becomes manifest when you're in the main room of the tavern, picking your way across the stools and tables, when a figure, hulking and armoured, steps out of a shadow just off to the side of you. What do you do?
Get distance between us. Shadow games, I guess. I'm just gonna disappear in a shadow and appear on the opposite side of the room. I guess throw a dagger.
Okay, give me a sneaky roll. Because you're trying to like get rid behind him. Oh, aced it. Okay.
Okay. Don't expect me to do anything else today.
Yes, it's this. You throw your dagger at it, and because you managed to get in an advantageous position, you're able to get right in the gap, the chink of its armor, between where the top of the arm joins the shoulder. Your dagger like sinks into it, and the thing, the figure lets out a kind of gurgled, I don't want to say like a yell, it's more like a bestial kind of like sort of sound, and it like twists around to turn around and get you. So what'd you do now?
I'm going to my distance from it while trying to door, I guess, to get out.
Sorry, could you say that again?
I'm gonna keep my distance from it while I try to get outside.
Okay, so right, flee. I'll just roll with quick.
Quick is +0, so.
Okay, do you want to roll your defense for me? It's 2d6, and then +1 if you have armor. +1 if you have if you're trained in a fighting technique, and then +1 if you're agile or athletic. Yeah, the thing turns around, but you're already gone into the shadow, and you shadow walk up to the entrance. Rise, you see Drakan step out of a shadow outside the building, just coming out from like the corners of one of the overhangs.
I'll be sprinting. Gee.
You come running out of the shadow.
I'm trying to get distance training this thing.
Yeah. So, Durdan, you've frozen up. Salazar, you're outside, and you see him just kind of like standing, and something definitely moved in there with him. So, what'd you guys want to do?
I'm just gonna circle around the building from the outside, seeing if I can see what's going on through the windows with my bow ready.
Okay, do you want to roll me careful? I don't know, are you doing it quickly or are you doing it carefully?
He'd probably just be probably careful because he doesn't want to go inside the building. Oh, I read it wrong earlier. My clever was 0. My careful was -1.
Yes, do you want to roll your defense for me?
Agile reflexes and does archery count for this or riding?
Archer and Rider will, yeah, because it's more difficult to have when you ride some. And yes, you're carefully sort of like circling on your shark when something whizzes past the back of your head. You can just feel the hairs on your neck move as it's just missed you by just millimeters.
Can I just like quickly let out a shot in that direction?
As a reflex, yeah, real quickly.
Would I have advantage from combat reflexes?
Yes.
I think it worked.
Yeah, you turn around, let off an arrow. It flies through the air and sinks through the chest of a heavily armed looking archer, clad in night black armor. He lets out a grunt and like rolls backwards into the shadow.
I'll just shout that there's enemies in the shadows. And just come outside.
So, Duruman, what do you want to say?
Durham's going to like roll out and sweep his axe and like a broad circle around him. I think if there's like other pews in this church or anything,
Yes, it would be.
he's just going to try and like blast them aside, essentially.
Okay, that sounds forceful to me.
And I've got pain as gain, so I still barely pass. Yeah, 8.
What's the pain gain give you? Is that advantage?
Yeah.
And so that's 8. Yes, you spin around with the axe, and your axe just like catches this heavily armed in night black armor beside you, crunches into the side of its leg, and the thing lets out another bestial roar, much more pain this time. And it grabs onto the haft of your axe and then tries to yank it out of your hand. What'd you do?
I'm gonna try and shield bash it in the face.
Sounds like another forceful.
And a 7.
Yeah, you crush its helmet face with the weight of your shield and the mass of your body behind it. And the thing tumbles backwards and crawls into a shadow to disappear.
Can I try and toss my axe at it before it vanishes? Or is it too quick?
I'm gonna tag along, and I'm gonna wait for anything that comes out of the shadow after the Drakan. And yes. Yes. So it's multiple beings appearing and disappearing. Well, I'm gonna join this game and fight of hide and seek. I'm gonna tag along close to Drakan, and I'm gonna watch his back, and whatever appears, I'm gonna take that thing unnoticed.
Yeah, so like when I bust out, I'm pretty much just gonna be using my own sidewalk to sprint down the street to find them. When I do find them, pretty much the only thing I'm gonna say is like get outside of town and keep running.
Can you give another quick roll?
Having sprinting give me anything here, like as a tag?
You're sprinting as a tag.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can have advantage. That's 10.
Is 10.
Yeah. Yes, you're able to do that. You're like hopping from shadows to accelerate your speed as well as you're going up the road. And as you do so, you can like detect things that are also shadow walking in these patches, but you manage to avoid them and get to the top of the street where the Church of Yaren is. You can see Salazar up on his shark flying at kind of rooftop level. You can hear him yelling, and you can see through the doorway Durman is like swinging his axe around in the darkness.
Yeah, just yell at Shark Boy to like get outside of town, and then I guess I'll try to get Jordan to quit swinging at shadows.
And you guys both hear Draken shouting, obviously.
I'll just get higher and circle above them as they make their way out of town.
Is this you quickly getting higher?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to roll quickly then? You want to roll defense for it? Yes, you spiral upwards to gain height, and there's a more kind of as these big black metal arrows, iron arrows, come whizzing by you, missing you and your shark as you ascend. What will you do, demand?
Assuming that he's not been immediately attacked again, Duradin's going to rush outside to regroup with them.
Yeah, you run outside, you see Drakan there in the sort of central area of the town.
The dead, they're all in the church.
Oh, they're not really a problem right now. You need to get out of town, like now. Assuming I'm gonna try to pull him along until I realize he's just too slow, and then I'm just gonna like.
Yeah, I mean, you walk up to him and like grab him to pull him along, feel how heavy he is. You look along the street and you see like a pair of large hulking armored figures standing shoulder to shoulder, blocking the street. They have like long black iron blades that have this kind of slight purplish hue of electricity kind of cackling along the blades.
That's a big old note for me. Is there a side alley we could dart through to get around them or something? Go through some buildings?
Sure. I mean, if you're just like fleeing, it'll be a quick roll.
Yeah,
Do
I'm
I
trying
s-
to flee.
Do I see this going on from above?
Yes, you'll be able to see it down there.
Can I use one of my supplies to make a fire arrow to burn the town down?
You can do that. Yes, I just want to see it. Roll first.
Can we roll still, or
Quick roll, yeah. And you've got advantage because you've got this printing thing.
5 and 9?
9, yeah.
Yeah, 9. 'Cause I don't have any.
Okay, so and you're just like getting out of town ASAP, yeah.
Try to help Durden. Realize he was too slow, and I've just let him run.
Sure. I think the first thing to say is you zip through the shadows and clear the town quite easily. Duraman, can you roll defense for me?
Okay. A 9.
You're going to take another pain and another stress. He zips through the darkness, leaving you there. The two figures kind of like sidestep into shadows, and then they appear beside you, and one of them takes a swipe at you. And at that point, Salazar, you can like light a flame arrow and start setting fire to buildings.
Do I need to roll archery for that?
You don't need to. You'll be able to do that quite easily enough.
Okay.
And Rise is gonna rush to Duridan's side, attacking one of the. I suppose they're paladins.
Yes, there are dark paladins, sure.
Yeah. He's gonna stab one in the back who is attacking Duridan.
Yep.
And
Yeah, they're not going to know you're there because you're in astral form still. So I'm going to say you can have advantage and it'll be sneaky.
okay.
Sorry, Bird, what did you take for Duradam's pain stress?
I took Kai loudly in pain, and I was going to take miss or drop something important, but I don't really know what I would drop.
Well, you got your axe and your shield. That's
Yeah.
what you're holding.
Yeah, so what do you think? I can see him like reflexively tossing his axe at one that disappeared or something.
Yeah,
And
that's,
it's
yeah.
flings it into the wall again.
Yeah, you throw and it just like hits empty space again. 8, we're talking 9 here.
Yep, it's a
Pain
9.
move. So it's gonna be this guy.
Bastard sword.
Right, so that one is still alive. Was the other one what disappeared?
The other one's disappeared, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'll just try to reach for the weapon and sweep its legs out from under it, like as I pick up. So it'd be a quick, I assume, if I'm trying to get it
Yeah,
before
I think quick, yeah.
But I'll use pain as gain on that as well, of course. Which is a 10.
Okay, so you're going to pick up its weapon.
Yeah, because mine I threw away. So
Now
it's too
you
far.
are like a construct, really, with magic, sort of keeping your rocks together visually,
Yes.
yeah. And does the magic, is it transparent? Does it have an aura or glow about it?
Like the kind of image of, a kind of like blue electricity almost.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking before.
Flows together.
Yeah, and as you pick this thing up, the blue energy between your fingers and the parts of your hand become this kind of like cloudy, very, very dark purple colour as it kind of like swirls around the handle of the sword itself when you pick it up. And the sword feels incredibly light. I mean, things aren't really heavy for you with your strength anyway, but it feels very, very light when you swing and sweep and pick it up. So you,
yeah, I didn't picture him as being that like well formed. Essentially, like he's not that stature, you know, but yeah, like that kind of energy.
Yeah, that's how I kind of been imagining him.
he's just a bunch of floating rocks with lightning between them. That's what he's like. Yeah, so you sweep up the sword. Rise, you've plunged your kind of like astral weapon into this thing. It's dropped his weapon. He's picked it up. Drakan, you've like outside the town, and you hear this like echoing roar from back in the town behind you. And Salazar, you're up there, setting the roofs on fire one by one. So what do you want to do now?
As soon as are any of the creatures not in the shadows right now?
The one immediately beside Duraman.
Has it already been defeated?
It's down on its knees. It's dropped his weapon.
So I probably can't tell right now if they've already dealt with it or not.
Yeah, it might be hard to tell in the darkness.
I'll just wait for the archer one to pop up again and try to shoot at it.
Okay, so you're kind of like drawing an arrow, surveying the area, trying to see where it's going to pop out.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like a careful. Okay, roll your defense for her. Ace in the defenses, man.
Yeah, I'm just not hitting anything.
Okay, so it is actually going to hit you with a pain and a stress.
Alright, I'll
So as you're kind of like drawing the arrow and looking around for it, it comes at you from an angle you already just looked at. It must have like switched places, and this massive black arrow just comes flying into you.
I'll lose my footing. The arrow's just gonna push me off my shark since it's so large.
I mean, you could have the arrow hit the shark and the shark knocks you off if you want.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah, the shark writhes. I guess sharks don't really make much of a noise. And you tumble off the shark onto the roof of the church.
And then for the stress, I'll I'm gonna freak out and panic and just start shooting arrows everywhere, just while they're still on fire.
Okay, yes, so you're just wildly wasting your arrows. Drakan, when you get out of the town, is there anything you want to do?
To see if they follow me or not.
Yeah, I mean, you turn around, you can hear the roar of pain back in the town behind you. You don't see anyone following you. You look around and there's no one out here with you.
Any of the paladins?
No, you don't see anyone out here with you. You're on your own in the woods, all nice and quiet.
I'm debating with myself if I should go back in or not.
Yeah,
Did my job. I
that-
told
that-
them to leave.
that
Only my fault.
that uncomfortable emotion you keep feeling, that guilt that keeps cropping up, the thing you're not comfortable with and not used to feeling, is like the ball in your stomach.
Trying to talk myself out of going back in. Like, no, I've done my job. I told them to leave. It's not my fault they didn't follow me.
But then
Guess
you're
I'll go to the rooftops and try to sneak back into the city while avoiding the dog paladins. See if I can
okay. Give me a sneaky
feel
roll.
better. The whole time, like, why am I doing this? It was 9.
Yeah, you mixture of shadow walking, spider crawling, back in on the rooftops. You can see now a lot of the rooftops are now on fire. Flames are like ripping through the town, casting massive shadows. You can see Duraman and this paladin in the centre outside the church. You can see an archer that's kind of like changing positions, trying to get a fix on the shark, or Salazar, who's now like rolling around on this church roof, and he's firing arrows out wildly in all directions. But you sense something just in the nick of time to turn around as another paladin is stepping out of a shadow directly behind you.
Oh, see, this is why I said leave, because these guys just pop up out of nowhere. I'm gonna flee from him and actually try to chase down the archer.
Sorry, can you say that again?
I'm gonna try and flee from this guy and then actually go and try to fight the archer.
Okay, so roll quickly for me to avoid this guy.
I'm assuming I want to fight a big old dude. I want to fight someone who's not used to being in close quarters.
Okay, can you roll defense for me now? Okay. You're going to take a wound, a pain, and a stress. You don't get away from this guy quickly enough, and he sinks this crackling black blade into your shoulder.
Okay, so stress will be that I am anxious when confused because of this new feeling I don't like. That causes me, I guess, to make a mistake. Lose my grip on my dagger. Wound, you said? He's bleeding. I guess throw poison at it. I don't know if the poison will even work or not. I'm gonna try. Yeah. Actually, it's like a glass vial. Like, oh yeah, it's just smoke, so I just gotta break it. So just throwing it at it. Oh, forceful, of course, I guess. I don't know if this thing even breathes or not, that's why I didn't know if this would work. Just gotta breathe it in.
Sorry, was the 7 the roll?
Yeah, 7's the roll.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're going to turn around, you're going to like smash it. The vial just like smashes against the thing's helmet. It's vapors, it goes through the thing's face. And the thing kind of like reflexively convulses and pulls itself back away from you. And lets it tries to kind of like let out a growl of pain, but it's more like a sputter and a cough. And the thing is kind of like choking within its helmet as it falls backwards.
Now I'll try to find the archer while pulling out another dagger.
Sure, yeah, you turn around, you sight the archer, and then you want to shadow step over to him and stab him, or are you going to try through him?
No, yeah, get close. I'm hoping it isn't. It's not used to close quarter combat, and I'm at a disadvantage for range.
Okay, well I think you're going to sneaky him.
Yeah. Okay, so roll. 12.
Yes, the archer is far too preoccupied trying to get a good shot at the Salazar and his shark. You pop out from behind him and like stick your blade in where?
I want to say is a neck area, I guess. They seem to like have a gap by the shoulder neck area. That's what you said last time, like.
Is there one live paladin right next to us? Well, in that moment, I'm gonna shout to Duradine in the same time as I'm gonna try to take his head off to turn each other's backs and try to minimize the advantage they have from the shadows, and that way they cannot sneak on us from the back.
Especially in astral form, right?
Oh, so am I still in the astral form, or because in astral form I can't interact with the living world.
Oh, I thought it said you were earlier, but maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, if you've interact, you can interact with like living things. I think, just not like physical things. You can't like pick things up or anything like that. But if he's turning around and you've like struck someone, you're definitely going to be visible in some sort of way. So this would be like an astral, ghostly kind of image of yourself.
Okay. So my astral form is light blue, glowing, not so bright, more of a suppressed, ghostly gas form, something like that. And my eyes are a little bit different. They're glowing in more bright blue color.
Yeah, so you're going to see this Duraman. I think instantly you recognise the bluish tinge of his appearance is similar to your own.
And he's helping me kill these paladins, so clearly he's a friend.
And if you're... Sorry, you go.
I was just going to say, so if, like, we were... Oh, in fact, does he roll for killing the other one yet?
That's what I was going to ask him to do, yeah. If you want to roll
yeah.
4 soldiers for swiping it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, roll your defense.
So I'm combat trained, and he's on his knees and he's heavily wounded. So and I have a chainmail that give +3.
He's not heavily wounded because he took pain last time. It's not actually a wound.
Okay, so that's +2.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know wrong there, but that's an 8, yeah.
2 and 2.
Or 10 works as well. Yes, so you bring your big astral sword down on him. Slices right through his neck. His head doesn't physically fall off, but you severed like the life force within him. And the armored body just like clunks to the ground in front of Duraman.
Being in astral form, it would work something like in that astral quest line, I'm actually damaging somebody's soul, not only the body. Or
Yes, you killed the soul basically.
oh, okay. Oh, that's okay, because yeah, he's Dark Paladin. That's okay.
Yeah, so he's not going to the Shadow Realm afterwards. He's not going anywhere.
Very good. Anyways, and I'm gonna lean my back on this thing's back, and yeah, I'm gonna shout to keep each other back safe, because they can only look from the shadows and take the advantage if they sneak up from behind.
Wait. I've read this wrong. You failed to hit him, and then you rolled defense, didn't you? Okay, so no, that's not what happens at all. I'm sorry.
Picture that's what happened, but then you realize what actually happened.
Yes, you actually take a pain and a stress because you went down to strike him.
We can.
He moved his
We
head.
can. But I can just use lucky, and we can go on with it. Yeah.
So is lucky's the auto success? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let's go with that then. Okay, yeah. So you save the soul and you kill him and it slinks to the ground.
Yeah, so in response, Duradum will say, like, we might be better getting out of here. Because we don't
I
know how
thought
many of them are in the shadow.
But I thought you came to clear the village.
Aye,
No,
but
no,
the
wow.
two of us might have a hard time.
What do you mean, 2 of us? There's 5 of us.
Well, the Duradum, like Drakan's gone off somewhere, and I think he probably like hasn't noticed it's the shark and Salazar setting fire to the place.
You just see Ricardo having the time of his life with 2 rapiers, like dueling this dark paladin across the way, like jumping up on things and just pretending he's like in a D'Artagnan movie or something.
Is he just playing out the Legend of Zorro?
Yeah, he's just having the time of his life there dueling this dark paladin.
Okay, point taken, but we don't know how many of them there are.
Well, they won't have anywhere to hide soon.
I don't know. Fire gives them more places to hide.
But why did you come here then?
Like, why I came here and how the situation is now are 2 different things.
Mr. Ghost.
Mr. Ghost.
Well then, the worst we can do is to be stretched out like this. We need all gathered up in a circle. Then they stand no chance.
Now, I don't actually know if Duradum got all of their names.
You'll know
Like-
Salazar's and Dracon's, because you did spend a little bit of time with him.
Yeah. And obviously he knows Ricardo. So if stuff jives, then I think, he would like, shout out to Salazar and ask like, what the plan is. Because I think he'd trust him a bit more than this ghost guy.
Salazar, what are we doing? He's like up on the roof, panicking.
Do I, am I able to calm down? Should I roll for that?
Yeah, I mean, you're calm down. It's just a second, a moment of fright and panic.
Alright, well, hearing my name, I'll just jump off the roof to land in front of them.
Yeah, and then the shark kind of like swims its way around down to your level as well.
And you see more of them?
I've seen one more, but it hasn't shown up in a little while. Do we know how many there are?
I mean, Duradum is just at least 2. That's all he's seen.
At least 2.
Looking over at Riz. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now.
Rise. Yeah, the ghost.
Do I know you? Has he always been here? I'll look over at Durden while pointing at Rise.
Yes, I've been here for a while.
At that
I
point,
don't know the man, but he did that and he just gestures with the sword to the guy on the floor.
Dracan, I mean, assuming you're close enough to hear them, when Rise says, I've been here all along, kind of thing, that's when the moment when it clicks with you. That's the thing that you felt kind of like watching you before.
Like the thing that was following me. I tell how many of them are here since I sprinted through town, for chance they were chasing me, or the rough estimate.
Well,
At least
you
2
know
more
the
on
archer one is kind of rolled off into the shadow, and then there was one that struck you. So you know there's at least 2.
the one in the tavern I didn't kill, so that's 3.
Well, assuming that wasn't one of the other ones, yeah.
Oh, I thought that was one you poisoned.
Well, I poisoned one, but I didn't get the kill, so like just distracted it so I could get away. After roll
If we see one, see one with a dent, to tell him that's mine.
Should we retreat or should we stay and kill them all?
I'm just gonna yell down like, "Are you guys like a bunch of morons? Like, why are we still in town? Why do I have to keep coming back to this town? Why are we still here?" I'm gonna be yelling this, like freaking out.
But why did you come here in the first place? I look at Drakan. Wait, you come here and what's exactly your mission here?
Figure out what happened. We figured out what happened. Now we needed to figure out what we're gonna do about it, and not sit here and die.
I guess it's time to retreat then.
The shadows from all the flickering flames in the buildings around you kind of like coalesce on the ground of this open area in the center of the town, and it begins to like twist and coil like a serpent around the area, trapping you in the center.
Great.
Is it covering above us yet?
No, it's just like around you like a giant shadow snake.
I'm assuming it's like a shadow I wouldn't be able to shadow dash through.
No, this is like a thing of the shadows.
Oh, it's like a monster they summoned.
Or just here the whole time.
I mean, as someone who walks the shadows, you know that every time you step through shadows, you go into the shadow realm and then like go through a passage. And in that shadow realm, some creatures exist, and this is one of those creatures. Yeah, so it circles around you all and it kind of like rears its head up, and it's this large, almost dragon-like serpent of shadow. What do you swear to?
Sure, no, let's not leave the first time. No, let's just turn around and come back and say speak. Yeah, that was great.
I'm gonna greet it in the monster tongue.
Okay, roll defense.
Wait, so how big is this thing?
When it fully rears itself up, it's the height of the church. So you're going to take a wound and then your choice of a pain or stress. As it strikes down at you. It doesn't like physically bite you, but you can feel it just like tearing through your soul, your psyche.
I guess would that be a wound that won't heal?
That would be correct, yeah.
I'll miss something important.
And the rest, you see this thing just dive as if it's like diving right through him and out the other side of him as it twists around again to come back for a second time. What would you like to do?
If it's coming back, can I try and skewer it with the like enchanted sword?
Yes, the one you're holding. You can indeed.
And I assume if I'm trying to intercept it, it'll be a quick, which I don't have any modifier on.
You can make a case for quick or forceful, yeah.
I can help as the thing is going for us. I'm gonna use my telekinesis to force pull him to the ground and help anybody who's near to stab it while it's on the ground.
Yeah.
But can I reroll with the mage background?
I did not know that. Okay.
Before anyone can do anything, I'm gonna approach it quickly to see if I can Do I know anything about this kind of beast? From
It's a thing from another plane of existence, so it's not a beast.
or is it a monster?
It's an extra planar being.
I'm just gonna circle it in awe, just wondering out loud if I can tame it, if I can train it.
Oh, it's certainly not. It's not that type of thing. But you can wander around it, wondering that to yourself, as this ball of shadow kind of coils itself up.
Can I try to maintain at least a little bit of the grip with telekinesis on the beast, so it cannot move freely as it wants, just to disrupt movement?
Sure, and that's possibly why it's kind of like coiled itself up instead of fleeing into the shadows.
Yeah. And there is I have that a tag that says that I can, once per session, I can turn disadvantage into advantage. So I would use that because maintaining the spell is a bit disadvantage, right?
If you're doing something else, yeah. Like if you're trying to do
Sure.
something else where you're maintaining it, would be a disadvantage, yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna try to keep it still in one place, not let it move, and I'm gonna try to stab it myself. And that way I would use that tag.
Yeah, to hold it in place while you do. Okay, so you can have advantage. Forceful, I'm guessing. Let's have a look at pain for a second here. Yeah, so you hold it in place and lunge forward and sink your astral projection of the greatsword into the center of its mass, its shadow mass. And the thing acts as if it's in pain. It like spreads itself outwards. It almost looks like as if you've thrown like liquid against a wall, and it like splats outwards into all different directions, and it like moves itself reactively away from the center of mass where you stabbed into, away from your astral sword. Drakan, would you like to do anything?
I guess I'll just try to get in place. I'll just hit it with some daggers from a distance. I ain't trying to get close.
From
No, I'm still on the
distance
roof.
then, so are you like taking careful aim? Or are you trying to do it quickly? What?
I've waited a long time, so I guess careful.
Okay, so you're taking your time to carefully place it where it seems to be most effective, so give me a careful roll. And your seemingly ordinary dagger flies into what you guess to be the sort of center of the remaining mass, the largest part of it, as it's kind of evading where it's been struck by his blade. And as your dagger passes through it, the whole thing just kind of like turns to a very thin, dark mist, and then just like fades and disappears into the air. And you're all left standing there, and another one of the building's roofs like collapses in on itself.
Now can we leave?
Yes, the next one might be on top of us. I think we should rush out immediately.
Yeah, it didn't seem to understand me, so we should probably go.
And if the ghost man isn't going to move, I'll scoop him up as I leave. Assuming I can grab him.
Yeah, your hands just go like right through him, like it did to Drakan earlier, and you, inside, you just have that moment of like, oh my god, I've done it again. But his form does not disappear.
Yeah, yeah, Rise is just gonna come back to his real body and walk out. Like, oh hi, here I am.
And you're dressed like a plain traveler, correct?
Yeah, rugged traveler looking, long hair.
Yeah, so this guy that looks like he's some sort of vagabond steps out of the bushes ahead of you all as you're leaving the town.
Are you that ghost from earlier? You've come back as a zombie.
Yes, that's me. Don't worry, I'm not a zombie. And I don't really look like a zombie, you know?
Yeah, but you were just a ghost, so...
Well, it's more complicated than that. But you can feel free to use that word. I don't mind it. You can consider me your friend. Friend in a need.
Well, saving our hides was a friendly thing to do, but what are you here for?
I look around at you and my gaze stop at Drakan. Then I turn back to Duradime and answer. Well, you are a peculiar and able company. I thought that you might... I felt like you needed my help, which you obviously did. And maybe you can help me out.
Two of them lets out a chuckle that's a bit too loud considering they just left enemy territory. It was like the ghosts calling us strange.
I'm gonna just give Duradan the side eye, like he's not strange.
This is the guy with the flying shark.
Well, that's normal where I'm from. Probably.
So what are you exactly? Mercenaries?
I'm traveling across the world looking for the greatest beast to bring back home and create new armies with.
Ricardo like
Interesting.
sails up, putting his dual rapiers away, all pleased with himself because he had an amazing duel with this paladin that he defeated, and announces loudly and proudly that he's here to rescue the dwarves.
Oh, that's so. Well, we then have a common interest.
Oh, you believe in the carnal temptations of Euphoria too?
No, not exactly.
He looks,
I don't believe in much.
he looks visibly disappointed at that.
Then I look at Duradime. What about you? What are you exactly? I haven't seen much of your sort.
Well, I'm one of the dwarves who are going to rescue. That's my kin in those mountains.
I laugh, like you're playing a joke on me. A dwarf, you say? Far from home, eh?
Aye, we were chased out there long ago.
And Rise just stops laughing and, oh, you mean, you really, wait, you really think you're a dwarf?
Are there dwarves in the southern continent?
They are. I don't know if they're native to the southern continent.
So I've probably seen a dwarf before then, right?
There's no reason why you wouldn't have, yeah.
Okay.
The rhythm's just like scoffing and goes, I think I know a mite more about dwarves than you. Where were ghosts even from?
The ghost even from? Yes, where is a ghost even from to have been following us for days?
Can you repeat, please? I didn't hear you the first time.
Yes,
was
where is
asking-
a ghost from to have been following us for days?
It said why you've been following us for the last few days.
Oh, that, yes. Well, well, to be honest, you are quite something of a group. You attracted my interest. I'm used to following my hunch. It's part of the business.
Of being a creepy old man.
Well, yes, I would say it could be a little bit creepy, but my intentions are nothing of bad sorts. And, well, we will have time to share stories and our backgrounds. I'm actually looking forward to it, meeting another fellow travelers. And what about you? What is your name? Shadow. I look at Rakan.
But I ignore him and go talk to Durden about his need for speed because he's really slow.
You expect me to move like an elf?
I expect you to those legs for something besides standing still when I say run.
Aye, well, I'll work on it next time. Hopefully, we won't have to do a lot of fleeing.
Yes, we'll take you through some running classes. Don't worry. There has to be something around here for dwarves to run from.
I can picture it now. Instead of running through town, you just run through the town.
I was thinking of rolling.
Yeah, that's what my head was, picturing him like rolling down like a rock slide or something. Yeah.
So as you leave the town, I walk along the road looking for your ride. It's clearly apparent that the carriageman and the rider hadn't stayed here and they've left.
Yeah, he left.
Seems like he must have known something would have happened.
Or, he saw half the town on fire and left.
Can I look at the
Yes.
tracks and see how long ago he left? If he left before we started fighting or not?
Yep, sure. Have you got this as a trait or anything?
I have tracking as a tag.
Sure, so you can have advantage and it's going to be clever.
See, while you're looking at the ground, the rhythm just comes up to you and goes, do you think the snake got him?
No, it looks like I think the snake just got it must have just vanished back to wherever it came from. I got an 11.
I need to put timestamps in these ones. Yes, so yeah, you can tell the horses and the carriage took off back in the direction that they came. And you can see them like accelerating, so he's built them up to speed to leave quickly.
Oh, so he didn't even stop on leaving town.
Yeah, he must have turned around, trotted up here, didn't even stop, and they just started speeding up, probably once he was far enough away from you.
Yeah, he had no intention of waiting for us. He was expecting us to die. I think something's wrong in that town we were just at.
Well, they got prison dwarves.
There's something wrong. You're right.
Yeah, so in Drakan saying this right now is the first time any of you heard about imprisoning dwarves.
There were them just like staring daggers at him. They what?
Oh yeah, when we were leaving to get the horses, they had one there at the prison for requesting help.
And he just silently starts marching back towards the town.
I'm just gonna have a big old grin on my face.
I'm gonna shout to Durham that that's actually the wrong way.
You accidentally started walking back towards the town on fire.
Took the wrong fork in the road.
Dwarven Kingdom is north.
I mean, so's the
Brokenburg.
yeah, that we came here from.
I think we should rest first before we head back to town. Just in case they ambush us at the gate.
So, I mean, it's a hard day's ride back to town. So if you're walking, yeah, you would need to make camp overnight anyway.
Well, we kind of have to walk since we don't have a carriage and one of us is too big to go faster.
We had time to train and how to faster.
I mean, it can probably still go decently fast if it builds up momentum. Like a stampeding elephant or something.
Well, I mean, you're big, right? So although you're moving slowly, your individual strides are quite large, so you're moving at a regular person speed.
But yeah, we should make camp.
Take a 5-minute break, and then when we come back, we'll have you make camp and do the rest, okay?
Alright.
So I'm gonna get me something to eat anyways.
And I'll grab a drink, I suppose.
Are orcs and goblins considered monsters, or are they a different race in this one?
I'm back. Yeah, I think everyone else is still AFK.
Yeah.
I'm back.
I'm back, but I'll be snacking. Someone might be muted.
No worries.
Take it everyone else is here, yeah?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, who would like to roll for making camp? Salazar, maybe, since you're the tracker hunter type.
Yeah, I guess I will.
Okay, just roll 2d6 for me. Okay, making camp is easy enough to do. You sit down beside the road, you take watch, you keep an eye out for shadow creatures and such. But over the course of the night, nothing happens. You're able to get rest till the morning. So anyone who has pain can recover all the pain.
And what
Just saying.
And you can recover 1 stress as well.
Keep the wound.
All right.
Before we come to town, did you plan us to appear now in front of town? Dark.
After you made camp, yes, I mean, you'll get up in the morning, make the rest of the walk, and sometime in the early morning you'll arrive back at Brockenburg City.
Well, in front of the town, Rise will stop and... Hey guys, I think we need a plan. Something is happening in the town, and we all know that.
From where we are, can I notice anything odd on the around the gates or on the wall?
I mean, the city's operating in the way you'd expect it to. People come in and out, taking trash out. There's patrols on the walls. There's guards at the gates. Yeah, nothing looks like it should. Everything looks like the way it should.
I know you're all mercenaries, but some of you are maybe aspiring to become something greater than a mere mercenary.
I'm going to spiral my fist into the male's face. Where was he holding the dwarves?
The one I saw, they took to the prison.
Should we sneak into town so they don't know we're back yet?
Oh, I mean, like, what's the goal here? What are we accomplishing? Why are we sneaking into town? Are we afraid that they're gonna do something to us? Are we trying to save the dwarf?
I just have a feeling as soon as we go into town, we're just gonna get surrounded and try to get arrested.
They left us to die in Mulvin.
If the dwarf was a messenger, just a messenger coming from the north to bring the news that they're under siege from Malkate's forces, imagine if we are the messengers now, bringing the bad news about the paladins right next to the town. Something is off here, and yes, I think maybe it will be wise to sneak in, or maybe have a plan. It's not the point of saving the dwarf, although we can. The point is, why is he kept as a prisoner just for bringing the news? It does not have any sense.
That's the important question. It's not that he's been captured, it's why was he captured?
But didn't you tell that he was bringing the news?
Right, so why did they capture him? Like, that's the question, like you said.
Yes, that's the question. Why?
Maybe the mayor's on Malekith's side.
Maybe, but wouldn't he then knew that the paladins are right next to the town? Or maybe he just lured us in to kill us.
Why would his random adventurers that they hired to go investigate this town? We just go, like, get our money, and then we just leave.
All right, let's see what happens.
Well, one way or another, he still does not know about me. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have your back. I'll be somewhere around here. And
I can just disguise myself as a random person, too, so, like, you could just say I died or something. That way, at least if something does go wrong, you have help. And if nothing goes wrong, then we just leave.
Yes, they couldn't possibly know if you keep yourself hidden. Only 3 of them could go in.
Do you want to use glamour then, Drac?
I could either use glamour or I could just like, you can't like just be in disguise. Gotta have a tag for just being in disguise. No, I don't have infiltration. Yeah, I'll use glamour then.
I mean, you could just, try and... I mean, you're always wrapped up anyway. You could always just, like, not accompany them and just try to blend into the crowd.
Right, I was just like not be with them. I was just gonna hang around, so keep my distance.
Yeah, sure. So we're going to have Ricardo and Salazar and Durman just approach.
Sending dirt in a good idea, dwarf buddy. Are you gonna be okay going in and talking to this guy?
I feel like he's just kind of seething, but he's like, if you two can find out why he's been taken, I'll
yeah,
hold myself back.
I can sneak into the prison and see why. Like if the dwarf knows anything.
Well, one can go to the mayor's house, and one can go to the prisoner station. One of us can see what's the situation with the dwarf.
At this point, you hear ding, 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 ding. Someone in the town square ringing a bell, and then you can hear like yelling, and you can see even from outside, you can see like people moving in towards the town square in a crowd.
Now would be the time to go. I'm just gonna sneak off and walk away.
I'm gonna jump on my shark and fly towards the center of town to see what's happening.
Let's see what's happening.
Yeah, so as Durman is entering, because he's most noticeable, the guards at the gate are kind of giving him pointing and talking amongst themselves, but they don't approach him. And you're able to just like enter. If you're flying in Salazar and your shark, you're going to get there probably faster than everyone else. Maybe not Drac, who's going to be able to shadow walk in. A crowd is gathered in the central square of the city. You can see the gallows has been set up. You can see a very short figure with a burlap sack over his head is handcuffed there at the side of the gallows. There's the executioner with the executioner's mask on. The Lord Mayor is standing there. The sheriff is standing in front of him, and the sheriff is like orating to the crowd. He's describing how a spy from the Dwarvish kingdoms has came to infiltrate our good kingdom here. As we all know, the Empire has fallen, and his enemies are trying to beseech us from all angles, and these dwarves are planning to attack and infiltrate us and bring us down in our moment of weakness. And with that, he like pulls off the dwarf's burlap sack to reveal his face, and everyone starts booing and like throwing rotten vegetables and eggs and stuff like that up at the gallows at him. We're going to execute this prisoner now as a show of force and to send a message to our would-be enemies that just because the Empire has fallen, it does not mean that Broggenburg will submit. So what do you want to do?
I'm gonna go to Drac, and Drac, the dwarf, is finished. But now it's perfect time to infiltrate the house of the mayor.
We just leave the dwarf to distraction and go to the mayor's house.
Can I don't know, I can cause a distraction. I'm gonna rush down and try to save the dwarf before they put the noose around his neck.
Okay, so you two want to sneak off to the Lord Mayor's house, home. And you want to swoop down and try to save him. What's the juryman doing?
Well, Duradum would be like shoving his way through the crowd, I think.
Yeah, imagine Ricardo's the same as you, because he's sworn to save the dwarves or whatever his mission was. So the two of you are kind of like loudly pushing your way through to get to him, yeah?
Yeah. Which probably wouldn't take too long, considering.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really anybody who can stand in your way in the crowd of civilians.
I imagine a loud, rumbling rock that sounds like it's yelling would be kind of frightening too.
Yeah, I feel like he'd probably be more of a distraction than Salazar.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Like, they're not even going to notice Salazar, really, because you're going to silently just, like, dive through the air at this guy. While this massive rock man, and the very loud Ricardo as well, I imagine, the very loud and flamboyant Ricardo, is, like, yelling and, shouting, taunting at them.
Oh yeah, because sharks are silent, aren't they?
Well, I mean, it's not. Your shark doesn't make any noise when it's flying through the air, does it? Because it's like swimming through the air.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you think you're going for a stealthy approach, or you're going for a quick approach?
I'm just going for a quick approach before they can notice me.
Yeah. Before they hang him, yeah. Okay, so why don't you give me the quick roll? Okay, you swoop down from the sky, snatch up the dwarf, shackles and all, from between his guards while they are momentarily distracted from the large rockman and flamboyant Ricardo going through the crowd. But obviously everyone sees you do it. You're in plain sight in front of everybody. And the sheriff points to you in the sky. Take him down! And what do you want to do at that point, Duraband? Do it down.
These gallows are probably up on not a stage, but
Platform. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm just going to ram into the platform.
Okay.
And try and crush part of it.
Yeah, forceful. I love it. You'll get advantage because you're large.
Oh, nice.
Finally, my size is a use. Oh, 12, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you snatch up your shark, go back up into the air, stop him, man. And just at that point, you slam into the supports for the stage, and the whole thing wobbles and starts to creak over in the direction you're laying, and the whole thing kind of slides, slants, and folds, and they're all struggling to keep their feet as the whole thing falls over and crashes into the ground. The sheriff, the guards, the executioner, the Lord Mayor, they're all on their arses in a cloud of splinters and nails.
And if I can, I'm gonna try and just grab the mayor and walk away with him.
Just striding over and grabbing him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I can pick him up.
I don't think the picking up part's the problem, but you want to roll forceful to just stride through them to grab them.
Okay. Oh, I'm a 6. That's not good. I'm imagining a guard is trying to intercepting me. Would that be with a +1 from being armored against slash or not?
Yes, you'll be armored, yeah, because these are just normal weapons.
11.
See, so they kind of outnumber you, so I think that's going to make them more powerful. So you take a pain and a stress. While that commotion's all going on, Drakan and Rise, you quickly make your way over to the mayor's house, which is one of the larger buildings. It's got like, it's separated from all the other nearby buildings. It's got like a grounds, trees, bushes, flower beds around it, some landscaping. Security is very light here. There's like a guard patrolling the grounds. At the moment, you don't see anyone else when you approach. What do you want to do?
Well, if he's keeping something here, it's probably his private chambers or his office, something like that.
Can I bring people with me through shadows if I shadow walk?
No.
Oh, okay.
You could take that as like an advanced tag or something.
Okay, I'll think about it later. You just gonna go into your little ghost form thing and follow me, or what?
No, I think everybody's, at the town square, all the guards with that all commodity happening.
Okay, so we'll just sneak in then, I guess. Easy enough for me.
Okay, so if you're sneaking in, Drax, you want to roll the sneak? Since you're the expert, you'll be kind of guiding them.
Plus 2 is 11.
Yes, I mean, you just get into the grounds, no problem. You get past the guard that's on patrol, no problem. You get into the building. You make your way upstairs to where you... I suppose, is it the master bedroom you're going for, or are you looking for like a study or something else?
Study, I guess, would be my guess.
We can split, yeah. I can go to the bedroom,
Okay, so you want to split up.
private quarters. Yeah.
Okay, so when you get into kind of the main hall bit where the stairs are, and you're going to like split up because Drac can see an open doorway thing, and through there looks like a study. There's like maps and parchments and books and shelves and stuff, and you want to go upstairs to the master bedroom. But as you come into that part, a patrolman walks across the top balcony and he sees the two of you below. He reaches for the handle of his sword as he shouts, "Oi, who are you two?"
I'll just try to walk behind him, knock him out with poison.
Want to roll sneaky? You can re-roll that as your background if you want,
Yes, please.
because you're a professional.
8. Okay, plus 2 for sneaky.
That's
Not
very,
so fast. Got an 8.
Yes, you shadow step, and then you come out behind him, and he's like, "What the hell?" And then what'd you do?
I'm gonna knock him out with the poison because it knocks people unconscious.
Is it like a handkerchief you put around his nose, or is it something you...
Oh, it's the vapor. So when I appear behind him, I'm just gonna like break the glass in front of him.
Sure, so smoke bomb, and he just like collapses. Sure, smoke bomb. He turns around and he's like, "Oh!" Thunk hits the deck. While you're down the stairs, Rise, you can hear somebody saying, "What was that?" And like coming in from a different passageway.
I will try to drag the body into the study with me.
And I'm gonna hide as well.
Okay, so Rise, do you want to roll sneaky? Okay, you stand behind a large potted plant in the hallway here, and as the guard with a belt with a massive key ring with some keys on it, jingling as he walks up into the passageway. He shouts, "Bartholomew? Bartholomew! I heard something. What's the matter?" And he starts looking around the room. He doesn't notice anyone or anything, and he starts walking up the stairs. Now drag you upstairs in one of the side rooms where you've dragged this body into. You can hear like footsteps coming upstairs.
I'm gonna use a spell. That failed though. Well, I got a 7. I use both my mana points, I guess.
Can you mirror this guy, the guard?
Yeah, I have glamour, so I'm gonna turn into the guy just knocked unconscious. For this, I rolled Italy, but 5 plus 2 is 7. -1. I heard the noise as well, but I don't see anything. Probably not. I'll go back the way the guy was on his patrol until that guy disappears.
Can I try to snatch? You said that he has a keyring full of keys. I'm gonna try to use my telekinesis to, as he's passing by, to use telekinesis to snatch it from him. Wow, this is tricky. Well, I'm. Yes,
but I did use both mana points for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna use 2 mana. You mean for telekinesis? Oh. This is unfortunate. Well, anyways, I'm gonna snatch the keys and push him down the chairs. And
I had an emergency. What happened?
and run for the doors. Yeah.
His friend being me. His friend being me. How I actually come out and run towards him, still like the other guy. Like I'm headed towards the captain to help him. I get close, I'm just gonna challenge him. Yeah, I like just slit his throat or something.
As I see Drakan, I just raise my arms. Okay, I gave up. Let Bartholomew take me.
I'm gonna ask him if he can fight, or if he wants me to bring him to safety first. I'll quickly fly him into the outskirts of town by the edge of the forest. Would I have an advantage from riding? Eight. I'll take a -1 forward and a make a mistake.
Ooh, make a mistake. Yeah, so you land outside the town area where you think, that looks wooded, that looks safe, that's a good spot to drop him off. And as you bring the shark down and he hops off and starts looking around for some way to kind of break his chains on a rock or something, you notice a patrol of guardsmen are coming along the pathway out of the trees when they see you, and there's just a moment of stunned confusion as neither of you quite know how to react. Duradan, what do you want to do now?
So I think if I'm being dogpiled that much, I should probably just give up on getting the mail as well. Rescuing the dwarf is a priority, so I think I'm just going to try and rush. If there's any clinging on to me, I'm just going to ignore them and keep running towards the edge of the town and escape.
So you're kind of following Drax's advice this time?
Yeah.
For speed. I'm just trying to think if it's more forceful because you're kind of pushing through them.
It sounds more to me like forceful, but I don't mind.
Yeah, let's go for forceful then. Because you're not really going to outrun them as such, you're trying to just push through them.
I mean, everything he does is forceful.
Yeah.
But he's a giant mass of stone, so...
And I have pain as gain again, so I'm going to abuse the hell out of it.
Sure. That's what it's there for. I mean, with your rules, you should be abusing it.
Holy shit.
Does it tie into your background at all?
The closest I could get is because he was adopted by dwarves. You could say it was related to saving one.
And maybe that, and the fact dwarves are always like stoic and hardy and stuff. Sure, so reroll it.
Would it be reroll without advantage?
Reroll the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's much better.
7, 8, 9, and
It's 10.
I mean, look on the bright side though. If you always get like a 7 through 9, you'll always have advantage on your next one.
Yes, so you just about turn. I don't even know if you need to physically turn or if your head just rotates or what and your whole body follows, but yes, you just about turn. Them all clinging onto you and still leaping at you and leaping after you. You barrel through them, and then once you hit the crowd, they're a little more reticent to actually come at you savagely because they might hurt bystanders. Everybody's like fleeing and screaming and running out of the way because what the hell is this giant rock thing charging through us all right now? And you just like roll and barrel through them, accelerating speed. You smash through some like carts and market stalls. It doesn't mean anything to you. And just strike out towards the gates of the city. So you guys back in the Lord Mayor's house. You've just killed this guard. The other one's knocked out upstairs. What do you want to do now?
Well, now we have keys. We can try to look around for any clues of hidden doors, treasures, anything of interest.
Yeah, I mean there are no other guards come. There's no one else to disturb you.
Alright, but now that we've killed somebody, I gotta go finish something. I'm gonna go upstairs and kill the other guy. Listen, if I just knocked him out and we stole stuff and left, that's one thing. But now we've killed somebody too. No witnesses, you know? Like, things are forcing this on me.
Yeah, Ian or following you back together. That's all that matters.
You go up and you look there, Druckon, at the defenseless, helpless, unconscious man. You've never had this before when you've had to like just finish someone in a job, but now you're thinking, God, this guy's probably got a mother, a wife, kids. He hasn't done anything to you. He can't do anything to you. He's unconscious. He's going to be like this for an hour or so at least.
Yeah, the only reason he's dying is because the guy downstairs got caught.
Yeah, and it's not even your fault that you've been put into a situation where you have to do this thing, and that's not in your stomach. It's just, God, it's just never going away now. I'm going to say, if you want to kill me, you can kill me. You take a stress.
Yeah, we're gonna. It's too early to turn the leaf just yet, so I'll take the stress.
Yeah, it's just now it's building up now. Sorry, there you go.
I picked the last out at an ally offense. Like when we get out of here, I might have a little
Yeah,
confrontation.
turn it on him. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Like you said, you're too late to change your ways just now, but it's definitely building up inside you. Something's happening to you. So while he's doing that, Rise, where are you heading to first?
The study then.
Okay, so you're going to study. You can see that maps have been laid out. Maps of the local area around Brogdenburg. So there's this area on the map. It's between the Skyfire Mountains and the Pavian Mountains. It's called the Osterlands, and this is like the eastern borderlands of the Empire. And he has marked out this area with his family sigil. You can see there's like plans to expand out from Brogdenburg, take nearby towns, villages. They've marked one of the castles in the mountains as a target. These are like not really invasion plans, but definitely plans to consolidate and control the former kingdom of this area.
Hmm. Well, maybe ambitions to. Well. Okay, yeah.
You leave or you're in the study looking at these maps and stuff and quickly rifling to make sure there's nothing else important in that room. When Drakan comes down, sort of like wiping the blood off of his dagger.
I just look at him and tell him to do something, to find something of value here.
Me do something. Just gonna keep walking after I say that.
Well, anyways, if I will take the map and fold it, and put it in my pocket.
Sure, yeah. Roll up, take it. So Salazar, you're outside town. Drop the dwarf. He runs over to a boulder and starts trying to like break the shackles on it. And these guards, probably 5 or 6 of them, step out of the woods. Just a random patrol that you came across.
Nothing to see here, gentlemen. Move along.
Yeah, there's a
This is not the dwarf you're looking for.
pause stunned for a moment and they're like, is that a shark? The fish? What's that doing? Why is it floating in the air? And then they look at the dwarf and there's a moment of recognition among them. And the one who seems to be the higher ranking between all. That's the Lord Mayor's prisoner.
As soon as he says that, I'm gonna try to shoot an arrow through his eye.
Which sounds like a quick reaction.
Would archery give me an advantage? Since I'm trying to make a precise shot.
Either that or your reflexes, would you? Which is a 6.
Can I use my lucky?
You can certainly use your lucky, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna use lucky.
Okay, change it to 10. Are you going to like straight into his eye or something?
Yeah, like as soon as he finishes saying that, he just like before the rest of them can react. It seems like just an arrow appears through his eye, and he falls backwards.
Yeah, like the head of the arrow is sticking at the back of his skull, and his body just like lops over to the side. There's another moment of sort of stunned silence and confusion. What do you do?
How many are there?
5 more.
I'm trying to decide if I should try to take them all out or if I should just grab the dwarf and run.
I'll say one of them is like dragging a cart and some heavy stuff, and another one of them is kind of like helping him do that. So their hands are kind of full at the moment.
Yeah, I'll try to launch some arrows at them, get the rest of them.
Like a flurry of arrows against them all.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me a quick with disadvantage.
8.
7, 8, that's good enough. Yes, your flurry of arrows, I mean, they're not all wholly accurate, they're not kill shots, but every one of them takes damage of some sort. And this causes panic among them, the two of them that are pulling the cart and stuff, like drop it, hide underneath the cart. The rest of them kind of like give up and grabbing their weapons, their commander's dead, they'll just like run into the bushes and the trees to try and hide.
He shouts back to the dwarf, have you gotten those shackles off yet? Need to get out of here.
It bangs him a couple of times and nothing's happened, but he runs back over to you and then just kind of like hops onto the back of the shark.
I'll just let off a quick flurry of arrows in the direction they ran and just jump onto the shark.
As you take off again, you can see just on the inside of the city walls, Duradan is just like barrowing through the fucking street, smashing things as he goes, with a trail of soldiers running after him. And he clears the gate, the soldiers at the gate, just like shoulder charges through two of them, sending them flying as he exits the city.
I'm gonna go over and regroup with him and try to give him some cover fire.
Yeah, sure, you kind of like swoop down above the gateway and just kind of like pew 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 pew, keeping them back, and they'll like take cover in the gatehouse, which gives him more time to put even more space between him and the pursuit. Yeah, I mean, they might give chase in a moment, but the two of you will make a getaway for the moment. Okay, so you guys back in the house. Where to next?
We did the study. We gotta go to the master bedroom next, right?
Yes.
Yes, you got there, door's locked, you got the keys, you're able to get in. When you enter, there is a very fine four-poster bed, the finest drapery hanging up over the windows. There's a huge portrait of the Lord Mayor when he's, well, presumably when he's younger and more handsome and athletic looking, but perhaps this is just a flattering portrait. He's like standing over the head of this giant cattle that's been slain, presumably that he's supposed to have hunted it, and on the other wall is this huge antlered skull hanging. There's a massive fireplace. The fire is kind of smouldering, but it's still lit. There's a writing desk, there's closets, very fine cushions laid out.
I'm gonna look up the drawers.
Yeah, you start throwing open drawers and rummaging through them. What be your drag?
Looking for anything valuable. I'm still greedy.
Yes, there's lots of little like trinkets. There's a whole like shelved unit with all these different sort of fine teaspoons and little cups and things like that. Rare coins, and you're just like sweeping your hand across it, just like emptying it all into your satchel. There's like a very plain looking vase at the end of this shelf.
We'll look inside of it.
It looks empty.
Gonna throw it off to the side and keep going.
Yeah, you hit it with your hand to knock off to the side, and it lifts a little bit and then snaps back into place.
Well, that's weird. I guess I'll call the boy over here.
I'm going through the drawers. Do I feel any mana presence? Magical presence?
There's definitely a lingering presence here similar to what you saw in the Church of Yavin.
Can I pinpoint the location inside of the master bedroom?
It's kind of present over a lot of things here, but particularly around the fireplace.
I will look in the fire if anything was burning or inside with a piece of the wood.
That's the point while I pick up the vase.
You go to pick up the vase, it's stuck to the shelf.
It moved a little bit, right? So I'm just gonna try and move it
If you
harder.
Yeah, if you tip it to the side, it like tips over, and it's like attached to the shelf.
Why? Like, does it swing the whole shelf open? Like, what's the point of this thing?
Do you want to tip over all the way? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you tip over all the way. There's a winding, a clicking, a clunk, and that repeats itself a couple of times. And as you're looking into the fireplace rise, the fireplace and the part of the fireplace in front where you're standing all starts to rotate slowly to the left until it's like 90 degrees moved, and there's a passageway beyond the fireplace.
Oh, look, I did something.
Drak, come on, let's go. And I'll take a torch out of the adventuring gear and light it up on the fireplace.
Yeah, you light the fireplace. You go down. It's a twisting spiral stone staircase.
taking one of the pillows when I pass the bed.
Yeah, as you descend the staircase, you're clearly going down several floors into what must be like a hollowed out basement beneath the building or something. You can see that there's other tunnels leading off from other directions, possibly other buildings in the city, but they all are kind of converging here in this larger room. There is a large semicircular altar on the ground with lots of different sigils inscribed all around it, but in the centre is one that you recognise instantly, Rise. This is the sigil that's been burned away in the council's meeting chambers. This is the sigil of the warden, Volkor.
Oh. Rise mumbles something like something in the form of warden curse and looks around the room. Anything else captures Rise's eye?
Combined with the sigils and the shape of the altar, you realise that this is, when it's activated with the right rituals and ceremony, this is a portal room. This is a means that people of like ordinary beings could use to connect to other planes.
I look at Drak and just stay silent. I'm gonna try to, just go through the altar, look at it, investigate it a little bit further if I find any other detail.
Sure, roll.
Other than
give me
what I already know.
Yeah, give me a clever roll. Yeah, you can tell that this has been particularly attuned to the demonic plane. And this is certainly where those energies you've been picking up have kind of seeped in from. You can't... It doesn't appear as if anything from that plane has entered this realm anytime recently, because the energies would be stronger. Although Drak's presence here is making that a little harder to determine, because obviously he has a little of those energies around him as well.
I'm assuming I have no idea what this room is.
Oh no, I mean, you might feel this room is it's not cold and uninviting. It has a kind of comforting feel to it, perhaps. A sense of familiarity about it.
And you said that there are many other passageways.
Yes, leading off in different directions.
It's probably connected throughout the city. Well, Drak, this is more than I expected. More than I hoped for.
What is this place anyways?
We'll talk later about it. No time now. Before going out of the city, I still have one more thing to do.
I guess I'll just listen to see if I hear anything down the passageways while he does whatever he's got to do.
Drak, you, if you meet the party and I'm not still here with you, lead them to the north, up the river. Can you do that?
North of the river. Sure, why not?
Yeah, north. Up. Yeah, and I'll find you. I'll still have to visit Church of Yaren. And please, that amulet around your neck, just throw it away.
This amulet, Drak, you found quite relaxing, comforting.
I was about to say, you told me that. I was like, I like this amulet. Like,
Yeah.
this is a nice amulet. I'm not throwing this amulet away.
Yes, that's why I do. tell you, throw it away. It is tainted with demonic energies. It's not wise to keep it around your neck if you want to stay yourself or not to be influenced by demonic powers.
And of
I
course,
wouldn't worry about that, buddy.
and of course, Drac, you know, just hearing the word demonic kind of like sets you on edge a little bit. Because you're like, shit.
The first thing I did was like freeze up, like.
You don't say.
Imagine you're like,
I could.
imagine you're like, why would that bother me?
Yeah, no, I'll just take it off and put it in my bag. I wanna like leave evidence behind for now.
I take a few steps closer to Drac. I place a hand on his shoulder and I'm looking at him in the eyes and I say to him, I know I can feel the demonic presence inside of you. I know what you are.
Sure thing, Ghost Boy. So which one of these passages are we taking?
Yes, I'm still having a visit to the Church of Yaren, but I think we did our part here. We should go outside of the city, find the party, gather up, and we are going north, up the river.
And I'll just immediately just leave, like just step into a saddle and be gone.
Okay, so you're going to leave City Drac, meet with the other chap. And Rise, you're going to go in one of the passages which you believe is in the right direction towards Church of Yaren.
That's correct.
Okay, that's fine. Trying to
Before I leave,
think.
I'm gonna go cut up all his pillows. I took the good pillow and I'm gonna cut up the rest. And then leave.
Yeah, you just leave a mess of like feathers in the bedroom. I think that's probably a good point to end it for now. When we come back next time, you will be outside the city having met up, and we'll take Rise, whatever you're doing in the Church of Yaren.
Sure, it's well, a lot of things are happening.
Yeah, we found out this guy's not gonna help us.
It's okay, we still got paid.
Yep, that's why you always get paid in advance, right?
Yeah, and then I went back and stole a bunch of other stuff, so you know.
Are you implying you're gonna share?
Yeah. That'd be part of turning over the leaf, you know, like say a little bit. I got the pillow for Durden, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be useful.
Right here, buddy. You know, don't want to put your big rocky head on the ground no more.
Is it just a big pillow-shaped rock?
No, it was the pillow from the mayor's house. It was like one of the fancy pillows. It's gonna do absolutely no good to help him.
It'll just be ruined after one night.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so we'll call it there, and we'll pick up the next one next week, and hopefully Ricardo's there properly next time.
Hopefully he also escaped when Durden ran away.
He just followed in your path of destruction.
I was imagining
Yeah.
him just like standing on your shoulders, like yelling and cheering the whole time.
Yeah, like point his sword, like yes, that way.
Just calling everyone rapscallions and going, haha.
Yeah, that's a good image.
I was thinking,
Yeah,
you know,
stop,
the little fox in Labyrinth, the movie. He like rides a little dog. Imagine he's a bit like that.
I'm now picturing him like Puss in Boots as well.
Yes, very much so, because he's Antonio Banderas.
Hey, Dark. Should I update the Hypnos character sheet to the more recent ones?
No, it'll be fine. I'm gonna jimmy it around.
All right.
Okay, I didn't add my field rolls to my experience yet, but I did keep track of them.
I mean, you just scroll up and roll 20 to be able to see the fields easy enough.
Oh, that's right. I kept track of them. I was going to ask you, like, are you sure you want us to do that? Because that gives me experience.
It should be fine just now, yeah. Yeah, just use them just now.
Okay.
Right, I'm gonna go over
You
it.
mentioned, like, getting...
I do have the end of session here. I'm just gonna find quick. I'll put this in the PDF so it's easier to find. Okay, so everyone gets an additional XP who showed today. And then, did anyone fulfill a drive?
I would say yes. I feel two different ones, so just one of them.
I think at a stretch, you could say, like, rescuing the dwarf was one.
Yeah, you literally rescued the dwarf, so yeah.
I'm gonna add a new drive. My drives don't really fit for every session.
Sure. I mean, drives don't need to fit for every session. I mean, between the two of them or three of them, they should.
Yeah, but I can't really capture a monster if we don't run into any monsters.
Yeah, but if that is what drives your character capturing monsters, it should be a drive.
Might want to change it to meeting new kinds of monsters.
And then capturing them is just in addition to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that way you ain't gotta actually capture one every time. You just gotta like encounter one.
Learn about one.
Just encounter new monsters.
'Cause I think you've tried to talk to every monster we've encountered.
Yeah, you can maybe learn about new monsters or something like that. Or by expanding your knowledge of them.
Alright, I'll learn about new monsters.
Okay, if anyone wants to suggest a character that did something awesome, then that character can get XP.
But Durden, hello. He just charged through a whole fucking town. He just...
I think that entire escape sequence for Salazar as well. And like the flurry against the guards, just taking them all out.
I like the flurry against the guards and the eye shot.
Yeah, that was awesome. Drak with the sneaking action, that was also awesome in the mayor's house. He did a lot of awesome things in a row. Ninja stuff.
Yeah, when he came back after running away in the village, I like that.
It's part of my redemption drive.
Also,
I did like when Rise grabbed the entire guy instead of just his keys.
yeah. It's a different kind of awesome, I was gonna say, but it's still awesome.
Well, I like the fact that after you did it, you just threw your hands up and went, "I surrender."
Yeah, I quite like the dynamic between like Salazar and Dakin.
There's quite a few dynamics between two characters. Like, okay, so everyone gets a point for doing something awesome. Overcame a notable enemy or task. You beat the Dark Paladins and the Shadow Monster, so you can all get an XP for that one. And then, did you learn something new about the world or one of your characters?
We learned that the mayor is going to try to conquer the surrounding areas.
We also learned that he's connected to whatever maze circle Ice is part of.
Yeah, all that stuff at the start with the Mages Guild and the Wardens, I think counts, so you can all get an XP for that one as well.
Although I think Durudum doesn't know anything about any of that.
Neither do the rest of us, just Rise, but I don't know what kind of significance that meant to him. I was just like, okay, he said secret underground tunnel, so what?
Yeah, so if you've got the XP, next time you just get like a downtime, you get to rest somewhere safely, you can do like a level up.
Yeah, first we need to kidnap the mayor and get him to safety.
No, we need to get the dwarf that we already kidnapped to safety.
Yeah, and what about the mayor? Is he still under them?
I was just gonna kidnap him like while I was there out of retribution, but the dwarf is the more important thing.
Yeah, so we didn't actually grab him. He's probably even more protected now than ever before.
Yeah, but we will also question the mayor. He could tell us a lot.
Something to decide for next time, I think,
Yeah.
before we leave town.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be tempted to decide that anyway.
Yeah.
They
Kind
are,
of need a car.
they're probably going to like get on horses and try to pursue you guys outside next time anyway. But I mean, I don't know, right? Durdan's not very good at hiding, so we'll see how that goes.
I can camouflage myself as a boulder.
That's true. A glowing boulder.
Even his
can-
hiding. Even his hiding
can
would be
use it.
forceful. He just have to be careful not to step and just break through the ground.
And how much guards do we speaking anyway?
Oh, I mean, so he's planning to control the whole area as like a kingdom. So he's definitely been amassing guards, training them, building an army. So there's quite a lot of city guards.
Okay.
How many he wants to spare sending out after those guys could vary, because he might obviously want to surround himself by guards and secure himself after that. But he's going to go back to his building and find the guards there dead and all the pillows burst. So
Well, I feel like, yeah, he's gonna be upset about that.
Oh, you're gonna get a debuff because they can't sleep one.
He doesn't seem to have any mages, though.
he does not so far.
So what do you need mages for when you have dark paladins?
But they might not be on his side. It might just be a coincidence.
This is true. Well, I think he knew they were there. I don't think that part was a coincidence.
Yeah, I think he just.
Guys,
sort of
I'm gonna see you
conveniently-
next week. I have to drop out.
All right, man.
See you.
Catch you there.
Alright.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
That was a good session.
Yeah, but good session. I like that.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It's a bit of a handful when we have 5 people, I think, but it should be interesting.
I think part of it is just there was a lot of like, independent action as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
I was thinking that too. Like, there's a lot of like splitting off, which is why I didn't really want to go to the mana. But
At least no one got like killed when we split up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how far down your track you got to during the fighting, but it felt like quite a few people were getting injured.
By the end of it, I was at 6, but when I got rid of rehealed pain and stuff, I got rid of them. But I still have that wound that won't heal
Yeah.
from the shadow damage.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, so I might give you like a negative trait for that or something.
I think if I took like one more good hit, then I could have been gut checked.
Right.
Would I gain some kind of like tainted, like
Yeah, Harold
under
or
red?
Harold kind of thing or something like that. Maybe we'll see. I'll think about it.
Well, I remember we had one for Sunderer from getting corrupted by a monster.
Yeah.
That just made it so that monsters went after him first.
Ooh, I've had a good idea actually, because it's a shadow creature, so it might have something to do with Drac. Tie into that somehow. I'll think about it. Yeah, I see. I mean, there's just lots of like interesting things to do with these characters. I love it. There's so much to play with.
I just want to see how it's going to turn out when we have to, when I have to try to control 2 characters, or
Oh, we're soon, yeah, we'll need to see how that goes. These boys might not even get that far. Because there's a lot of other stuff going on, so we don't know if it's going to get there.
well, what if it turns out that the demon was trying to get the scroll, get the tablet from Rise was Hypnos in disguise? Because that's
That's a
one of
twist.
his things.
Yeah, totally.
I'm pretty sure this demon knows exactly where we're at all times.
Yeah, there's a lot of demon shit in this one. It's cool. Alright, I'm gonna get off, man. Thanks for playing, guys.
Catch you guys later.